and welcome. This is Brand New Smith live from the Forbidden Library, and if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear the sound of Higurashi's streams a year ago. Yush. Today we are going to read more Higurashi. Hi Dove Game, welcome. And we did it last time, and last time we found the torture basement in the thing. Hello, Snack Brownie. No, Chippy Brownie. Chippy Brownie, not Snack Brownie. Chippies aren't very good for you, no snack. We found the murder basement last time, and we had a Wataganashi, and we were like, so out of the people who could disappear or die after the festival. Sorry. I'm trying to... Getting the positioning... I need smaller headphones, basically. This is what it's telling me, because I constantly hit this bloody microphone. Hello to Paul Wolf, it is small me time. Higurashi is small me time. Thank you for coming. Yeah. We checked the notes. We checked the tips and notes, and it said that there was a body in a barrel that was discovered. Obviously our main character's unaware of that, but now we know someone is dead. Let's find out who. You're playing Factorio? That sounds fun. The factory must grow. Yes. To capitalism. I let out a great big... It was like morning had arrived just as I got to sleep. The factory must grow, the factory must grow, the factory... Yes. As Mum set up breakfast, she gave me a pained smile. What's the matter, KG? What time did you go to sleep last night? Well, I wanted to go to sleep at midnight, but I had some trouble with that. You were probably all worked up from the festival. No, that's not it. Crunch, crunch. I crunched down hard on the pickled radish to hide my embarrassment. Were you worked up from the festival, or were you expecting to die? Burr the oceans of vow, burr the forests of fuel. No! No. Do not consume all the resources. After all that happened yesterday and our discussion around the sound Shion heard, that banging noise, like a child far away, jumping up and down on wooden floor. Sorry, 1 second. Just that. Well, what was strange then is in order for my thing, I have a thing that puts YouTube and Twitch chats together, so that way I only have to look at one window. But usually it's only supposed to work if I pop out the chat on both Twitch and YouTube. But Twitch's wasn't popped out, but I could still see you, DePaula Wolf, talking about your world domination via factories, despite it not being popped out. And that was really weird. Now it is, though, just because even if it was working, I didn't trust it. It was a long night, and I kept jumping at the slightest sound of faraway tree branches, which should have been either unhearable or too insignificant to notice. When I woke up in the morning, sunlight and birds chirping, it made me feel pretty ashamed about it, but I felt far from refreshed this morning. Keiji-kun, good morning! Huh? Keiji-kun, your eyes are all red. Why is that? Why? Oh, hey, good morning. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm sleep deprived today. If I keep doing fake yawns, I'm gonna actually yawn. There it is. How to make yourself yawn. The festival yesterday was lots of fun. Rena's excitement took a long time to go to sleep, so I took a long time to sleep too. In Rena's case, her excitement seemed to be wide awake. They should have this kind of festival more often. Yeah. Hey, they should have this. They did. So we can have lots of fun together again. Oh. Yeah, totally. That's totally. He's sleep deprived today, just today. I know. One of these weirdos that get good sleep. I like sleep. I get good sleep. Brenda talking about the festival yesterday made me remember everything I'd nearly forgotten about last night. All the creepy shit we saw. Inside of the ritual storehouse had been so utterly different from the relaxed, bright, everyday life of Hinamizawa. All those stories that Takano-san told me too. The mysterious incidents that occurred on the day of the Wataganashi festival every year. The strange incidents were where one person would die and one would disappear. Imagine having good sleep or a decent schedule. Hearsay! I say it's great. You should all try it. Did pass out though through all of Wednesday, but that was different. Oh no. The stories of old Hinamizawa flicking like a candle behind them. The numerous and horrifying traditions of Onigafuchi village. The villagers with demon blood in them. The terrible cannibalistic feasts. The poor sacrifices kidnapped from human villages, victims of the Onigafuchi. To quell the rage of Onyashiro-sama, the ritual involving living sacrifices. There were also many, many others. There were so many stories that just remembering them put me in a foul mood. Most of them weren't fiction either, they were true. We didn't need to fear them just because they were real though. Since all of it happened a long time ago. Everything happened a long time ago, so it's fine. My working theory is that the pizza I ordered was bad in some way. Ate it, felt awful, poof, Thursday. Sounds about right. Your body just went into hibernation mode while it dealt with it. Also, if anyone is willing to hop on to the Twitch, that would be lovely. Because we are getting really close to that affiliate, and it'd be nice to get those views up, and that would be great. The build-up is so good at this game. It is. If a little too long sometimes. This is the 6th stream of just this chapter. Such a very long time ago. Where's Mi-chan? She's late. Huh? Before I realized that we'd ride at the place we'd usually meet with Mion. Probably because I was so lost in thought. We agreed if she isn't here by now, we can just go ahead, right? Should we? Mion being late wasn't too rare an occurrence, but today she was unusually late. That'll cost you extra. A few of these ominous tales from the night before came back to life in my mind again. Who would die this year? Who would disappear? It couldn't have been Mion. Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, you're welcome to stay on YouTube if it's generally more comfy for you. That's good, that's fine. Viewer experience first over my numbers. But I just say it in case anyone is just like, oh yeah, I forgot, I'll do that. What do we do, Keiji-kun? If we don't get going, we'll be late. She'll be here. She didn't call to say she was staying at home, right? Let's just wait 5 minutes, okay? Renan looked at her watch and seemed a little worried, but then she nodded with a satisfied smile. If we had to wait 5 minutes, we'd have to run as fast as we could to school or we'd be late. As soon as I thought that, we spotted Mion running towards us out of breath. Mi-chan! You're late! You waited? You should have just got on ahead. Mion was breathing heavily. Her face was all red. Her house was right down this road, wasn't it? It wasn't that far away for it to end up like this, was it? Mi-chan, are you not feeling well? Huh? Now that she mentioned it, Rena pushed Mion's bangs away and put a hand to her forehead. Rena, your hand is pretty cold. Mi-chan, you're a little bit warm. It's no big deal. Give me half a day and I'll be fit as a fiddle. Are you really okay? You don't have to push yourself, you know. What's this? Kei-chan, are you worried about me? That's nice of you. That answer wasn't like Mion at all. She must have been pretty bad. Or is it Mion, or is it Shion? Has Mion gone missing and now Shion is posing as Mion? I can't remember. I do not remember the details of this bit of the game at all from the anime. I just remember it's wild. I just think you shouldn't push yourself so hard. We could tell the teacher you had to take a day off. I'm fine. I just took some medicine. I think it's already working. Mion forced an energetic expression onto her face and relaxed her biceps at us. And flexed her biceps at us. Okay then, let's go. Don't overdo it, but of course there's the time. What? We need to run or we won't make it! Run! This morning's sure to be thrilling. Maybe it's just what I need to shake off this slowness. Let's run! Nigate! Hey, wait, you're sick, don't go overboard! Mion began to run vigorously anyway. Mi-chan is older than us, right? She knows her own body better than anyone. I decided to leave it at that and assume she was fine. Fun fact, all chibis are illiterate. Wait, what? Am I the exception to the rule? Am I the exception that makes it a rule? Or is that why I just can't read sometimes? Is that when the chibi kicks in? Great, then we should get going too. We began to run after Mion. They got to school! Yeah! The school looked the same as always. The hours passed listlessly, and my lack of sleep took its toll. If there was a sport where people competed by sleeping, I'd be world champion right now. The trick to overcoming this sort of dangerous situation was to hold your pencil upside down. Why, you ask? So you don't draw any strange patterns all over your notes while half asleep. Clearly, it's the blue spy running from the intel room. You can even spot the butterfly knife in the dress pocket if you stare hard enough. Shocked they can change the accent so hard for French. If you were holding your pencil upside down, that wouldn't happen now, would it? Bum 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 bum. Something that felt like an eraser hit me in the head 6 times. Ow, what was that for, Satoko? I haven't done a single thing! Who else would play a prank on me like this? Oh, it was chalk, not an eraser. Eh? It's the teacher. Behind me, like a female outlaw might hold razors, was the teacher's shadow holding 3 pieces of chalk in each hand. Mayabara-kun, go and wash your face. Huh? Alright, gladly. That alone was enough to wake me up. I flew out of the hallway as if shoved by an invisible pressure, exuded by the teacher's sheer power. Why is the classroom almost empty? Because they have like 5 students in this entire school. Do you want to play a game of trying desperately not to get a bunch of conveyor belts tangled while building a factory the size of a small country? Factorial! I didn't know there was an advertising stream. Also, can confirm, Chibi, you somehow reads worse than standard you somehow. Source, I made it up, but it sounds believable enough. Chibi me probably reads better because Higurashi is a bit easier because you only have 1 or 2 sentences to read each time. If I was going to wash my face anyway, then I'd rather use the sinks out front rather than the ones in the dark restroom. Thinking that, I left the hallway and went to the entrance. Chibi Briny reads words that aren't even there. Normal Briny does that too, though. She embellishes. The sunlight was strong. So strong you wouldn't think about it was June. I turned the faucet with a lifeless bubbling noise. Lukewarm water came pouring out. If I let it run for a few moments, would it get cold? I looked at it absent-mindedly for a while. I knew you'd choose these sinks, Kei-chan. The ones out front just feel better, don't they? Huh? Meow? I am gonna start. There's the actual yawn. Curse this game for making me yawn. No cutting classes now. I stuck my hand into the water to find it had gotten cold, and it had gotten so cold that it seemed strange it had ever been warm. I scooped it up and splashed it on my face again. Sploosh. Once I was done, I moved out of the way, and Mion did the same. Mion, how's your cold doing? You're sleepy because of the medicine, not from lack of sleep, right? Actually, this is a secret, but after the festival yesterday, I got wrapped up in the party my relatives were having. And well, I had a bit. She made a gesture like she was tilting a cup to her mouth. Mion, you're underage, naughty girl. Which means you didn't have a cold or anything. Are you hungover? How old are you? No. Give me a break. I really don't feel well, you know. I suppose she'd be feeling lousy either way. Still, you treat colds and hangovers in completely different ways. In Germany she isn't. That's true, but this is Japan. What's Japan's age here? Is this like... Don't people drink from 5 for British people? Technically, probably. When you're very, very small, your parents may give you a little bit just to put you to sleep, but that's a little nightcap. Then, when you're probably about 13 or so, you might start drinking at that point. Legally, obviously, not till 18, but not usually. People have usually been hammered way before then. Man, I guess it's just like you, Mion. Mion scratched her head, a little embarrassed. She didn't seem to be feeling well, but now that I knew it was a hangover, I didn't need to worry too much. I mean, it's believable for Japan, given the alcohol vending machines. That's true. It's not like it's hard for kids to get access to it, if that's the case. Vending machine can't exactly ID you. It would go away with time, after all. Oh, but my head really is pounding, so the teacher told me I should go home early. But if I do the ammo belts, then I do more Factorio. Ah, you cheater! So you're gonna go home now, Mion? Now that I look again, Mion had her bag with her. She must have been on her way home. Yep, feel bad about it though. I'll get some rest, like a good girl. Sorry I can't make it to the club. Would you take over as leader for today, Kei-chan? I don't know if that'll happen. We have an unspoken rule where we don't do club unless everyone is there, don't we? We never did it when you had your part-time job, did we? Mion laughed wryly, saying we didn't need to worry about her. No matter how much fun we have, though, I think that feeling guilty about friends who can't share in the sign of... is the sign of a really fantastic friendship. It kind of is. Pat. Yay, got head pats. In that sense, the club Mion has created is a wonderful thing. As I thought about it, the moisture on my washed face dried up. I suppose we're talking too much. If I didn't get back to the classroom soon, I could get in more trouble. Okay, later. I'm going back. Be careful on your way home. Don't wobble into a sewer or a brook. Got it? I left it at that and turned around and started heading back to the classroom. Oh, one more thing, Kei-chan. Mion stopped me and I turned my head to listen. What's up? This may sound weird, but don't think too hard about it. Well, it depends what it is. Last night, near the end of the festival, did you see Tomitake-san or Takano-san anywhere? No. I suddenly tensed up. You know, Tomitake-san and Takano, right? You remember, Kei-chan, when the four of you were talking during the setup the day before. If I could, I wanted to forget about sneaking into the storehouse that night as soon as possible. Could also be a Shion plant that just got too smashed the day before. You'll never know. We'll never know. They are dead. We don't know. The game hasn't told us who the body was yet. Although it's probably maybe him. Howdy, Crusader. Welcome. So hearing the names of people I was with at the time really got to me. Besides that, though, why was Mion asking me a question like that? It's never good when someone says, don't think too hard about it, and then follows up with something serious. You're just making it worse. Correct, Ashen One. Also, hello. Hello! Welcome to the stream. I ended up staring at her, unable to answer immediately. She was asking to see if I had seen them or not. Or was she asking the question knowing I had? I couldn't tell. Well, maybe I might have seen them around, I don't know. My vague response was clearly not to Mion's liking. What answer was she expecting from me? There was no way for me to know. I see. Then one more question. On the same night, did you see Shion? My heart leapt into my throat again. The tiny needles buried underneath Mion's words pricked into me. Didn't you ask me that yesterday? I think I told you I wasn't sure if I had or not. Did you? Yeah, no, it's the creepy eyes. I don't like those. I don't like that creepy eyes. Did you? I guess I thought I'd get a different answer if I asked you again. I suddenly noticed something in Mion's eyes. Something indescribable. Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Shion too? She was asking me about them? There was no doubt about it. Last night the four of us had snuck into the ritual house. She knew everything. So what? There's not really a curse anyway. That's right. Even Shion and Takano-san said yesterday during the festival that there was no curse. And that rather than a curse, it was the doing of the villagers. My blood curdled. Gotta lay D's on the lies. Mion was, almost without doubt, aware that we had snuck into the storehouse. It was nothing strange. I screwed up bad by flicking on the light switch last night. If Mion had been searching for me, it was simple to imagine that she had seen that momentary light and come to find out what was going on. Did you really not see her? Why are you so intent on finding out if I know? Keiji's the worst fucking liar. Jesus Christ. Never, like, murder a person with Keiji. Never let Keiji know if you've murdered anyone. It's not important. It's just there are some people who are speaking poorly of Tomitake-san and Takano-san, Shion, and you, Keiji-chan. I didn't really hear what they were saying, though. Unpleasant sweat dripped down my arms, and the sound of it hanging from my fingertips was so annoyingly loud. That's a hell of a sentence. The sound of sweat hanging from your fingertips. That's visceral. There is no sound, logically. But I don't know, there's something about that that's just so Keiji, I know you saw my body collection, and I just wanted to ask if you liked it. There goes your weekend plans. Oh boy, another stream of committing horrible violence against a cute anime girl. And reading Higurashi too! Reading Higurashi and no violence, yes. I don't believe that you were doing something bad. I just wanted to ask a bit about it, so I did. Sorry for making you uncomfortable, okay? I found myself unable to reply. My reaction must have made it obvious what the truth was, and yet I couldn't explain myself. Kei-chan, you weren't with Tomitake-san, Takano-san, or Shion, right? When do we make some chibi pie? Never! You will never get me into a pie! Yeah. I finally wrung out an answer between ragged breaths. Mion's expression softened a little. That's good. I'll have to tell them. You weren't involved in anything bad, Kei-chan. So, I'll make sure to tell everyone. Yeah, please do. Tell them I wasn't doing anything bad. Can we make chibi pie? Can we only make chibi pie if we make chibi dough? No! No cooking the chibi! To everyone, make sure. Everyone? Everyone? Who is everyone? Okay, later. I'll be better tomorrow. Bye-bye. Wait, Mion, what do you mean everyone? Just then, a freezing cold hand touched the back of my neck. Hey! You're late, Mayabari-kun. How long does it take to wash your face? It was the teacher. I was taking too long and she came out to get me. I'm sorry, I was just speaking to Mion. I turned around, but Mion had crossed through the schoolyard without me realizing it, and was now standing at the gate. Come back to your studies, quickly now. The teacher was being insistent. We returned to the entrance. I looked back one more time. Mion was nowhere in sight. We broke some taboos! Keiji, you haven't seemed well all day. It's clearly because you had far too much fun yesterday! I don't want to be told that by the one who got lost. Your face was all red and you were nearly crying. You said Oko was so cute last night. Oh. My friends did their best to try to cheer me up, but it didn't lighten my mood. Was it far worse than I thought? Had I really done something that terrible last night? These thoughts remained with me for the rest of the day. Thank goodness the oven needs to preheat to know. No. Missing some extra flavor, so we're waiting for Steve to get back from the store. No. I'm gonna lock the door and make sure Steve can't get back in. Then you can't cook me because you don't have the ingredients. Bye-bye, Keiji-kun. I'll see you tomorrow. By the time I realized it, I was in front of my own house. Mi-chan had a cold, right? You have a cold too, Keiji-kun. Could you? Chibi brioche. No! Chibi Brady, not Chibi Brioche! You're right, Steve doesn't care about toss. I need to get better Steve fortifications. Huh? I'm fine. I may look scrawny, but I've never missed school because of a cold. Both you and me-chan didn't look so good today, though. Thanks for worrying about me. I'm fine. Idiots don't catch colds, remember? Rena smiled, then waved to me and left. Whew. With my shoulders bobbing up and down from breathing heavily, I entered the house. As soon as I got back in, Mum called out to me. What? KG? I'm sorry, but could you go to the library and return a few books for me? Oh, I don't feel like it, Mum. Your dad and I have to wait inside the house for a phone call right now, so we can't leave. I need you to return them today. Could you please do it? Errands. Sheesh. Did it have to do with Dad's job? No point in arguing if they bring that up. I guess so, but I don't know where the library is. Oh, you don't? It's a little piss past Okinomiya Station. I have to pronounce that at least once, like slow down and do the pronunciation for that word at least once a stream. It never sticks. Just then the phone rang. My parents' faces immediately turned grim. Mum snatched up the receiver. Oh. Hello? Mayabata speaking. I'm sorry. Yes, he's right here. Oh no. It's time to find out who died. Then she thrust the receiver at my face. It's for you, KG. Don't take too long, okay? I tried to ask who it was from, but asking the person on the phone directly would be faster. Hello? Ah, sir, this is Sonozaki. Well, the younger one. Hello? It's Shion! I thought it was going to be the policeman. The main character has living parents. Yes, both of them are living. And they're not abroad for work or anything. Hello, do you have time to talk right now? It was Shion. The older sister had a hangover today, but the younger one made no reference to it. Shion, I thought you'd be sleeping in today with a hangover, same as Mion. What? Mion had a hangover! That's so like her. She laughed warmly, but the mum glared at me silently, telling me to finish up. Whoops, sorry. My parents are waiting for an important phone call, so I can't talk for too long. What do you need? There's something I wanted to talk about, but if you can't talk for long, I guess that's that. This is riveting. I wish I had some tasty jelly chibi. No! What would Shion want to talk to me about? Now I was interested. Then how about we meet in person? If you could show me where the library is too, that would be great. You mean the public library near the station? Yeah, that's fine. I go past there on my way to work anyway. Okay, then you know where I usually meet up with Mion. At that intersection where the small path from the Sonozaki house splits. Oh, Kei-chan, did I not tell you? I don't live at the main house. I live in Okinomiya. If we could meet by the ticket machines at Okinomiya Station, that would be great. Main house? Living in Okinomiya? Now that she mentioned it, it's always seemed like the Sonozaki sisters weren't commuting. Did they live in different houses? Also, now that she mentioned it, Rena said she'd never met the younger sister despite going over to play sometimes. Let's meet at the station then. I'll go there right away. Bye! I set the receiver down and Mum immediately thrust a large pile of library books in my face. 6 volumes of long-form mystery novels. The woman has taste! Jelly chibi's so expensive though. Can probably get some jarred or blended chibi right now. You can get other people's chibis, but not me! Mum had her own hobbies. Thank you, KG. Be back by nightfall. Got it. Okay, I'm going. Bye. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. I suppose I had to change my clothes before I grabbed my bike key. I climbed the stairs to my bedroom. Okay, I hate that this game has gotten me to yawn once, and now I'm yawning a lot. Ugh, I hate it. Of course not you. We are saving you for the pie. Jelly chibi in this economy. I don't want to be a pie. Shion had been waiting for me already, so meeting up was a smooth process. Well, Mion never keeps her appointments. I mean, honestly. Making my sister the standard for everything will get you in trouble. Shion seemed a little unsteady too. She was drinking with Mion last night, wasn't she? You didn't get any sleep last night either, did you? Don't try and hide it. You definitely went home from school early. Ooh, too bad. I'd been home all day in the first place. I'm smarter than Mion, after all. You should try something new at least once, so let us eat you. No! I am not the new thing to try! I am not a delicacy for you to eat. I am entertainer for you to be entertained by. Hey, I don't think you can play calling Hooky smarter. It's not Hooky if she's actually sick, KG. You should finish your own errand first. We don't have that much time. We're going to the library, right? Yeah, thanks. My mum had to return some books by today. Is the library that far? No, it's really close by. To the library! Not my library, an actual library. As she said that, we spotted a signboard for the library almost immediately left. If it was this easy to find, then I guess I didn't need Shion to show me where it is, after all. We rode around the bend, and the building was right there. Shishibon Public Library. We lived in the country, so I hadn't expected too much, but it was pretty big. The first floor was actually a government office, so the library was only on the second floor, but it is still large enough to fit a decent collection of books. Oh, come on. Just a leg for that book nerd flavor. No! No, 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 no. No. We passed through the automatic doors and were greeted by the cool breeze of an air curtain. The cicadas had been loud outside, but were quiet in the library. The air conditioning inside was keeping the temperature at an ideal level for the books, which had the mildewy smell unique to old paper. I guess every library is basically the same. If there was one difference, it was that people studying for tests weren't taking up all the seats. I was one of those, but now that seemed like a distant memory. Hello, I have some books I'd like to return. The librarian went through the process of checking them in, then returned my mum's library card. Shion was going around the bookshelves with a deeply interested look on her face, like she wasn't the type who went to libraries very often. Sorry for the wait. I'm all done. Libraries sure are nice and cool, aren't they? I want to work in one library one day. I want to work in a library too. Library spotted. Do we have to get in by invitation? I think this one's a public one, so you're alright. Don't know whether to call that boring or dependable. It seems a pretty small dream compared to your sister. Mion would definitely want to be a hard-working employee for an international trading company, or some other crazy job that involves her running all around the world. Chibi kebab, no! Don't put me on a stick! Hopefully there's a sassy blue-haired AI in this library, unlike the other library. All it had was some funny British words. And yes, I added the word funny. I deserve a nice adjective on that. Nice adjective as a treat. Wait, what do we make from a flimsy shield? Way too hard to blend it. But a lot of iron, which is nice. Luckily, last library I had to go to needed me to fight several people to check out one book. It wasn't fun. That's a lot of effort. A lot of effort. You were raised well. I am against eating abused chibi. Yay! Do not eat abused chibi. Do not eat abused chibi. Well, don't eat chibi in general. It's probably bad for you. It's too sweet. Compared to that, what Shion said was pretty heartwarming. Well, we need to keep our differences dear to us. We're not copies. We're two different people, called Shion and Mion. Twins have a lot to think about, huh? Still, it sounds like fun. I don't have any brothers, so there's just me and my parents at my house. It can get a little uncomfortable. It's the same for me. I don't live with Mion, after all. Oh right, she said something about that, didn't she? Why, though? Sisters living apart is unusual. We were getting tired while we were walking. We ended up going to the lounge area, which was vacant, and continuing the conversation. Chibi tastes good? No, no! It's bad for you! Bad for me, especially. I know some nice adjectives. Tasty, tender, and scrumptious. No! Head past the chibi. This one is free-ranged and not raised in a cage. So the meat should be No! No, 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 no. Hold the chibi. Celebrate. Protect. Yes! Do not eat. Not food. Chibi is friend, not food. Yeah. Mion lives in the main house and I live in Okinomiya. What do you mean by main house? You make it sound like you're nobility. I mean, yeah, these guys basically are. It's just the main house. The Sonozaki family's main house. Mion's the successor, so she lives there with Nana and apparently studies all sorts of things as preparation to be next head of the family. Mion, the head of the family? Kind of fits her, personally. But kind of fits her personality, but kind of didn't, too. Kei-chan, you just moved here, right? This will sound like I'm boasting, but we, of the Sonozaki family, are kind of personages around here. Huh? Seriously? The word personage didn't really match the extreme sociable air that Mion and Shion gave off. From what Shion explains, the Sonozaki family goes way back to the beginnings of Hinamizawa. After the war, they had a bunch of successful ventures and extended their influence to a wide area. Basically, they are Hinamizawa royalty. I don't know, man. This chibi was locked in a weird library. Does that count as free range? I mean, yeah, it's bigger than the planet, so calling it caged would be the same as calling a human caged from being locked to the planet. Are we all caged, man? Caged in this cage we call society. The Sonozaki house is a foundation under which the entire family operates. Through the current family head, Grandma, was the one who built it. The entire family would provide backup to help one relative with a business venture. They were like a huge living company. This let them avoid tax-related problems and help relatives' ventures succeed, one after another using large amounts of money. It's not caged if it's the brainy's natural habitat. If you ever go for a walk through Okonomiya, pay attention to the signboards and stuff. There's tons of shops that are managed by members of the Sonozaki family. Now that you mention it, that toy store looked like it was managed by relatives as well. Despite all the rage, I am still just a chibi in a cage. Beautiful poetry. Does that mean your relatives operate Angel Mort too? Even what few shops I was familiar with were involved with the Sonozaki family. It was definitely surprising. The family is particularly strong in finance and real estate. Even a lot of members of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry either have the last name Sonozaki or are their relatives. There are Sonozakis in the city council and the prefectural assembly, too, since they have the Okonomiya area giving them strong electoral support. Wait a minute. This is all escalating pretty quickly. Her relatives operate in downtown Okonomiya, and they're especially strong in finance and real estate. On top of that, a lot of those in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry are relatives, and there are even people elected to office officials. So then, the Sonozaki family, it's pretty famous in this area? Oh, hey, Oshi! Yes! It's crazy. Hi, thanks for the jump scare, Oshi. Okay, I got a text from Steve. Started raining, so he's delayed until the end of the stream. But on the bright side, the second the stream goes down, he should be able to just teleport and grab— No! The primary ingredient without much hassle and chuck it directly into the pie base. No! Oh my god. That's terrifying. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. It's terrifying. That's more terrifying than this game. All of a sudden, a cigarette-smoking, overweight old man interrupted our conversation. Wait, I know this guy. Hello! Good afternoon! Don't forget to remove the hair before we go— Not my hair! Oh, no! No, 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 no. You will all choke on it. Choke on my hair, bitches! Are you on a date? Ah, what I would give to be young again. If you thought we were on a date, then why are you bothering us? Oshi-san? That was it! He was Oshi-san, the police officer. I thought it was this person who came to my rescue and— Oh shit! Yep, like I said, I've yawned once and now, like, the floodgates are open and there's gonna be so much yawning going on. And got involved in those delinquents before. Now that I thought about it, Mion didn't seem to like him very much. Don't forget to remove that popcorn. I would like to state that I do not support the eating of the chibi. Thank you, DePaula Wolf! Thank you! Oh, of course, Steve is a wonderful chef when it comes to smaller creatures. No. No. Why does Oshi remind me of Detective Gumshoe from Phoenix Wright? I have not seen this, but maybe they were inspired by each other. Whichever came out first, I don't know. No, I apologize. I heard a familiar voice, so I came over to see. Oshi-san laughed, coarsely, not showing any sign of giving up. As Shion watched him do so, I did feel the same sense of malice from her as I had from Mion. Mayabata-san, right? You're one tough guy. Two-timing the Sonozaki sisters, are you? No, I'm not two-timing anyone. I turned around to look at Shion and plead for help, but she grinned and maintained her silence. Ugh, she's a gremlin. Her gaze wandered. She looked at the clock. I'm sorry, Kei-chan. I really need to get to my job. Huh? Oh, did you? Wait, didn't Shion have something she wanted to talk about today? Now this weird man is here, though. Yeah, I'll see you later. Oh, I'll give you a call after I'm done. It'll be okay to call at night, right? Yeah, probably okay. Then I'll talk to you later tonight. Bye! Bye, Shion! Oshi is the name of a snack brand in your country. That's fun. I'm prepared to supply the chibi artillery. Yes! Defense! I love how we went from extreme cuteness aggression towards chibi to chibi is delicious and packed with vitamins lets you... Chibi is not delicious and packed with vitamins. Chibi is bad for you. You'll die. He's not two-timed anyone. He's two-timing everyone. Oshi-san was waving at me with a grin. I felt like I'd been left here as bait, so she could get away. Maybe she was lying about having to work. Ah, you're quite the big shot, being so up close with the Sonozaki daughters. Maybe I should rethink about how I talk to you. Artillery firing chibis. Firing chibis. Yes, bring the big guns now! Artillery to defend me! Not to fire me! Oshi-san put a coin into the vending machine as he said something a bit appalling. Is iced tea okay with you? Do you want milk in it? Iced tea! He's gonna give me tea! Chibi can't pass on knowledge if eaten. Protect the chibi in order to learn. Win-win. Yes! Yes! I have two people who do not want to eat me! Them clown cannons for chibi fight. Huh? Oh, no, I'll put some in then, alright? Brownies, while seemingly sweet, have a deceptively low lethal dosage, and even small amounts can result in glucose toxicity. Kiswick to nodders. Exactly. I might kill you. You might die if you eat me. I might be slightly poisonous. Or at least very bad for you. But what if we consume the chibi to steal its existing knowledge? No, but you don't get the knowledge of a sheep when you eat it, do you? Anyway, I'm really sorry. I knew this was going to happen. I was kind of dual-wielding tea at the start of this stream, and now I need to pee, which is just the way it happens. BRB. yes, Jake and Asheron also bring up even more wonderful reasons not to eat me. So I think it's a great idea not to eat chili. I think this whole pie idea should be put on hold. He handed me a cup of tea! I still have half a cup of tea. I had 2 teas when I started. I had a peppermint cream oolong, and I have a cold brew blackberry tea, and I still have the blackberry tea, but I have drank all the oolong now. Filled to the brim with ice as I looked on absent-mindedly. My reason was more why I should prepare properly. Close enough. I'm taking it. I'm taking any defense I can. Yeah, let's not do the pie thing. Let's talk bread. What bread do chibi pair with best? Now, I'm not on your side. I'm not on your side. I'm not on your side. But garlic bread. I'm not helping myself, but garlic bread. So hear me out. We clone the chibi and consume the safer to eat version. Here, chibi, have an M77 Hauser. Oh, lovely! I will shoot anyone who dares to cook me. Pew pew pew. I don't think I'm obligated to have a guy like this buy me a drink, but he did get it for me, so I'll thank him. Was Oshi-san just killing time? We didn't know each other well, but he still engaged me in conversation about all sorts of dumb things. When I thought back to how I talked with Shion, this seemed like a total disaster. Mayabata-san, how much do you know about Sonosaki-san? Which one? Other than what I heard just now, nothing. Until then, I hadn't known anything about either Mion or Shion, other than the fact they were interesting. Chibi with a gun! I'm sure I can find a gun asset somewhere. Let's... I'm gonna take M77 Hauser. Let's see if I can find an asset for that. 1 second. It's very important. Very, very important. What's an M777 Hauser even look like? That's a big gun! Holy shit! M77 Hauser PNG. Hi. Chibi gun. Fork the chibi! Well, fork you too, mate! I'm American, I eat guns for breakfast. This is a really big gun. This gun is at least a dinner gun. Save image as gun. Just throw that in my downloads. Give me a hot minute. You may see some things, but it's fine. I need to open the folder. Okay. Streaming assets. Adding a new streaming asset while I'm live on stream. Blah 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 blah. Gun! I have a gun. I want to flip. I want it to be the other way around. Gun. Not fun. Gun. Is gun image safe for streaming? I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. What if it's just really small? Well, if we just make it really small. There we go. It's a small gun. It's fine. If the video games can have the guns, why can I not have the guns? This is nothing worse than what you'd see in Call of Duty. We have a gun. It's not chibi eating, it's eating chibi cannibalizers, cannibalisms, cannibals. I should put the link of where I got this, though. Let's go to the website. It's from Polycount. I'm gonna copy that, and then I'm gonna make sure that goes... I don't know, I'll put it in a little notebook. And then that way I will hopefully remember to put it in the description later. There we go! Anyway. Attila Chibi! I'm fairly certain I've seen VTubers with guns. You probably could. Yeah, we're fine. I mean, I've streamed the trenches of World War One. I'm pretty sure gun is fine. That's a crossbow. No! It's a big gun! It's a big gun! Big gun! Gun. Big gun. Gun. Put a base system in the description and give credit to the manufacturer. No, apparently this has been rendered by someone. This is a model that someone made, apparently. Dear notebook. Gun! Correct. So we need to make sure we give credit to people. So I will be giving credit in the description. I really did only just learn that she was the daughter of some prestigious family. The Sodozakis are a Yakuza group, with the entire region under their thumb. Plus her father is a high-ranking executive in the XX Yakuza Association. Did you know that? What? What? Have you ever seen where Shion-san lives? It's the very picture of a gang boss's hideout, protected by high walls, barbed wire, fence, and security cameras. If you have the chance, you should go visit her. Eh? She'd mentioned Mion being a successor, but to a Yakuza group? No, not at all. A boring old Yakuza group isn't the only thing Mion-san will inherit. She's inheriting the Sonozaki family itself. I'll leave you to mull over what exactly that means. Oshi-san had spoken lightly about this from the start to finish, but what he was saying wasn't light in the least. It was abrupt and unbelievable. If Mion-san wanted to, she could kill someone in the middle of the street and still cover it up. Not only would witnesses not show up, but she'd put pressure on the police too. But Mion would never kill someone. Wouldn't she? She wouldn't? I'm just speaking hypothetically. Your name, it was Oshi-san, right? Yep, that's right. Then Oshi-san, whatever family Mion comes from, it doesn't change the fact that she's the best friend I could ever have, and I'm proud of that. I don't appreciate speaking ill of her. I let my quiet anger show through my gaze as I stared at him. Of course, I could never seem to tell what he was thinking, so I didn't know if it had any effect. Then let me be frank. If Mion was suspected of a handful of incidents, what do you think? Suspected? Incidents? You know, them being connected to a Yakuza makes a lot of sense. It really does, doesn't it? The Sonozaki Yakuza makes a lot of sense. Especially given that whole, like, gathering that happened. In my headcanon, a briny artillery corps used an M982 Excalibur extended range GPS guided shells. Sounds wonderful. The most dangerous game has begun. Chibi will hunt humans while we hunt chibis. I don't want to hunt people, I just want to defend myself. If you all die in the process, that's your own fault. And this Keiji's death flag has not been raised for real. You can't just say terrible stuff like that on a whim. Then it would be an misunderstanding, of course. Mion may say some dangerous things, but she's not the kind of person who would do something so awful. Mayabara-san, keep your voice down. We're in a library. Keiji's better not mention Oshi-san to Mion. Or he might be found in a pickle barrel. He might be. Probably best do it, honestly. Rise of the Planet of the Chibi. Oh, those movies. I haven't seen much of them because most of the time the titles just piss me off. Rise of the Planet of the War of the Planet of the Planet of the Planet of the Planet of the this and that of the that of the this of the too many of those. Two of those in a single title pisses me off. Oshi-san shushed me but in a state of heightened excitement as I was, I wouldn't be so easily calmed. Please calm down. As I said before, the Sorozaki family holds a lot of power in this region, for better or for worse. So if anything happens, they would immediately be suspect. I'd appreciate it if you understood that. Well, I know what Oshi-san is trying to say. Combining it with what Shion told me before, the Sorozaki family is huge and controls everything from Hinamizawa to Okinomiya. Mion, meanwhile, is its successor, who apparently holds strong influence over the entire family. Still, that's all? That's the only reason they'd suspect her? I'm just doing my job here. Not to doubt Mion's side of everything, but to clear up suspicions surrounding her. Please think of it like that. The M777 with the M982 shell has a range of up to 40 kilometers, and can be used down 75 to 100 meters of friendly positions. Briny will be safe. Yeah! I'll be safe with my big gun. Thank you. Rise of the planet of the air of the beginning of the mark of the trail of the chibi. Ah! That hurt to read. Oh. Yeah, boy. He could talk a dog out of a meat truck. He was the definition of a shrewd, unfair adult. Damn, this chibi can rap. Have to get Steve to set up cloning machines earlier than planned. They can make money and be consumed if the songs get less than 60. At this point, I began to think that it was no coincidence I met him. Oshi-san, do you need something from me? Yes, I do. Keiji Mayabata-san. He answered in an absent tone of voice. Mion's been suspected of something and you came to hear from a friend of hers, me. Is that it? No, that isn't it. I didn't come to talk to a friend of Mion Sonozaki. I came here to talk to Keiji Mayabata. It would probably have bothered you had I visited your house. To me? What would the police want with me? Having realized this faked coincidental meeting had me as its target, my mood immediately turned foul. You don't need to be so tense. Calm down. And I just have a few questions. I'm being questioned? Let's call it a chat with a guy who you happened to run into. Oshi-san freely suggested that I relax. That said, behind his eyes was light which I could only see sometimes, that was sharp as a hawk. I tried in vain to run away. He might actually take me in and bring me to an interrogation room or something. That was undoubtedly unpleasant thought. That was an undoubtedly unpleasant thought. You had a roaring good time at the Wataganashi festival last night, didn't you? Don't beat around the bush, please. No more shield parry noises? Just for you. I don't think Chibi has enough strength or muscle strength to even load the artillery. That's fine. That's what the tea fairies are for. They can load it for me. They don't need to lift things. They lift things with their mind, so. Totally not an interrogation. Totally not. I can't do small talk right now. Last night during the festival. Did you see Jiro Tomatake-san and Mio Takano-san? Gulp. I could plainly feel myself give a start. Where did I put those pictures? Oh, here they are. He opened a small notebook and removed 2 photographs. I didn't have to look. Well, who knows? I might have seen them around. I don't remember. I was asked the same question for a second time today. I gave the same answer for the second time too. Your memories are blurry? You couldn't have possibly been drinking or anything. Here too, I got the same answer that I heard from Mion. I realized he wasn't taking my vague reply well. Why is he asking me the same thing Mion did? The dark feelings I'd nearly forgotten due to my conversation with Shion came rushing back in a hurry. We snuck into the sacred ritual storehouse, a punishable act. It was on a tiny impulse. While it may not count for much now, I do feel sorry about it. I'll ask you again. Did you see Jiro Tomatake-san and Mion Takano at the festival last night? His tone was soft, but there was a dreadfulness in his voice, clearly different from the first time he asked. I'm scared. That was exactly how I felt. Even if you repeat the question, my answer won't change. I don't really remember. There wasn't any better answer I could give him. I didn't have the balls to say I didn't see them, nor the courage to admit I had. I see. I just thought that maybe I'd get a different answer if I asked you a second time. I'm too scared to look Oshi-san in the eyes. I'll change the question. Come, Mayabata-san. Relax, relax. Oshi-san, get out of my face! Get out of my face, Oshi-san! Oshi-san grabbed my shoulders and squeezed them as if trying to give a massage. It mostly just hurt, though. Still, why would he ask the same as Mion? If he's asking the same things, then the next question must be... On the same night of the festival, did you see Shion Sonozaki? You're not gonna go creepy eyes on me too, are you? Clatter, clatter. I wondered what the sound was, and when I looked down, I saw it was the unmelted ice in the cup I was gripping in my hand. My hands were trembling, rocking the ice back and forth. Realizing that I hastily put the remaining ice in my mouth and crunched on it. Sorry, I may have seen her, but, well, you know, she looks just like Mion. I might have mistaken the two. But that can't be. Suddenly Oshi-san grabbed both of my shoulders and hunched down, giving me a level stare. This must be what it's like to be a deer in headlights. I wanted to look away, but I can't. This is the first time I've experienced such a piercing stare. Mion and Shion wear completely different clothing. You couldn't mistake the two easily, I wouldn't think, Mayabata-san. His voice was harsh the same as when Mion said it. I could feel my heartbeat quickening. When I realized he could feel it through the hands on my shoulders, I got even more scared. Why? Why are Mion and Oshi-san both asking about last night? Was sneaking into that storehouse so bad? I shouldn't have let Dagano-san talk me into it. Tobotake-san casually said to check it out too, so... Even Shion, if she hadn't encouraged me... No. I understood. I was the one most at fault here. I shouldn't have let my curiosity get the better of me. I shouldn't have gone into the forbidden storehouse. Oshi-san. I think that's our cue to get out of here. A young man wearing a suit came into the lounge. From the way he held himself, I knew immediately that he was Oshi-san's subordinate. So it is. Closing time already. I hadn't realized until he said something. The jingle and announcement telling patrons the library is closed had started playing without me realizing it. Aw, thanks, Soothing Spooks. I'm glad you're having a good time. I was so irritated and overwhelmed that I couldn't even hear it. Well then, Mayabata-kun. We're out of time, so allow me to take my leave. I'd like to talk with you more about this at your leisure, when we have more time. This isn't a joke. If I ever saw him again, it would be too soon. Oshi-san followed his subordinate and left the lounge behind him. However, he spun back around. Alright, Mayabata-san. What? What is it? Those two questions I asked you before. You don't remember well enough to answer either of them correct. Yeah, right. Just so you know, you saw them all yesterday. You were walking along, the four of you having quite a pleasant time, near the stone steps. I saw you with my own eyes. I caught my breath and my heart seemed like it was about to stop. What a detestable person. He knew and he was testing me. We'll meet again. Have a good year. Fuck off. I sat there like a rock, unmoving, until I could no longer hear the clanking sound of their footsteps. I'll catch up on your chat now. I kind of got into that, sorry. It's not cannibalism if chibis. They're not classed as humans to begin with. We are people! Chibi is people! Maybe they'll pin the murders on Keiji. Ooh, maybe. If Oshi, walked around with Keiji, let him get some air, he might have had a better time. Both times he's been questioned after some form of relax and talk. Casual request. Fair point on the shell weight. The defense of briny shall be substituted with Orekion Skyrange Air Defense Autocannon Turrets. Kissable Oshi lips. No, I don't want to kiss Oshi. No, we're not going to kiss the old man. That's gross. You're gross. Oh, maybe it really is the doing of the villagers making the curse. Maybe. Gramps isn't on our side as much this time, and it's the scariest part so far. It kind of is, isn't it? Definitely is. I read Soothing Spooks this comment. Thank you still. Yay. I can't believe how many people could have lived without audiobooks in the past. Reading sucks. Reading is great. You just have to be interested. I read 11 web novels simultaneously. Does that count as reading? Yes, 100% counts as reading. There are pictures, there are words, there's comprehension to be had. You are reading. Well done. At this point, it's safer just to admit it. The worst liar I've ever seen. He really is. But he's also a fucking coward and won't admit it either. Maybe you do tell Mion-san about Oshi-san. I think he should. Maybe. Have you seen or read Higu before, or is this your first time with it? I have watched the anime, but it was a very long time ago. So I've watched the anime... Not the most recent one, though. It's hard to say where I got up to in the anime without spoiling things, so I'm not going to say where I got to. I have seen this bit. But it was a very long time ago, and I don't remember the specifics of things. I only remember, like, overall kind of what happened. I don't remember what happened in this one. I know, like, kind of who goes crazy, what happens kind of thing. I don't remember the specifics. I don't remember bits. I don't remember bits. Enough that reading through it is really fun. And also with the anime, obviously, I don't think we got as much time with Takano as we did in this series. Having that whole bit with Takano last stream was crazy. I've never heard her speak so much. I want to watch the anime again. You have the full set on DVD and everything. Damn, that's so good. That's so great. Sotsugo was unfortunately disappointing. Is that the one that is around Satoko? Because I'm kind of dreading that one because it's kind of... It's good, but it's more depressing than it is horrific. You know what I mean? Keiji needs a spine, figuratively, but I'm sure the Sonozaki family have a literal one in their backyard. Probably. I was on my way home. The cries of the Higurashi accented the already lonely evening. More time had passed than I thought. The orange of the dusky sky was being chased down little by little by an indigo colour approaching from the east. Ah, okay, so it is the Satoko bit. Yeah, that bit's it's awful and horrific, but it's not the kind of psychological horror you expect from the rest of it kind of thing. Only one? Kei-chan, is that much of a coward? +2 are required. Correct. Exhausted from the slow climb towards Hinamizuwa, even without noticing it, I'd gotten off my bicycle and was pushing it uphill. I don't understand any of this. No one had told me to my face that I'd done something wrong. No, in fact, it might have been much easier on me that way. What happened yesterday was really just my curiosity. It was really no more than a quiet prank, no more than having the courage to cross a red light, as long as you did it with other people. The storehouse for ritual implements, hallowed ground, only accessible to the family of the priests. For sure, I'd seen terrifying things that I'd imagined would be there. Thinking on it now, though, it didn't matter what was stored away inside. It didn't make the wrong I had committed any more right. What the four of us did, Neon seemed to know about it. For some reason, even the police were trying to learn what the four of us did. Did we do something bad? Really? It doesn't matter how wrong it was. I did something wrong. It was nothing more than that, and yet I couldn't accept it. I didn't apologize to Mion or Oshi. All I did was shield myself with ambiguities. Yeah, that's true. He's not a coward in every loop. I look forward to... I think it's probably one of the last loops, I think, actually, where the Renner focused one. I really liked that one. That was my favourite in the anime. I know Keiji is a coward, but he's also a kid in a very dire situation for what it's worth. Yeah, I think he's just a little scared. I don't think he, as he's pointing out here, he doesn't really understand what he's done. So it's kind of the shock of that as well. He didn't realise it was quite the big deal that it was. This is truly when the Higurashi cry, absolutely similar. True. But if the chibi is temporarily protected, then Kei-chan is the next to be bullied. Fair? I will happily let you bully Kei-chan. He kind of deserves it. To have to Briny, thank you for the stream. Have to go, less reading today, but I had a lot of fun. Oh, that's okay. Have a nice day, Dalf Game. Thank you for coming. You didn't shield yourself, KG. You flailed around while people watch you. He has no bully shield. He can't do it. What are we? Some kind of Higurashi Nakakoro ni. Hello, Trevor. Welcome. Yeah, he's really good at that one. And Red is really good in that one. Oh, it's so good. We did something yesterday. I set foot into a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. I'll forget everything I saw in there. I won't ever do something like that again. I'm sorry. If I apologize like that, will they forgive me? The suddenly cool evening air left no room for such sentiment. However, as it mercilessly chilled my feet, urging me to head as soon as possible. In the end, the evening air was correct. If I trudged along such an isolated road, regrets would pile up on top of regrets, but nothing would change. Let's go home. I'll go home, go to my room, put on my favorite music or something, and go to bed. It might sound plain and boring, but it's probably the strongest I've felt all day. Now that I've made a decision, there's no point in dawdling in places like this. I sat back on my bike. I pushed hard on the pedals. I rapidly advanced forwards. I steadily gained speed. The wind was cutting and mercilessly cold, but it actually felt good, as if it was softly pushing me. Oh, he's having a bit of a panic attack. He kind of is. I offer turning the chibi into K's shield. They can read while being hit by the axes and curse people. No! KG... No, I'm not being KG shield. No. I didn't eat much dinner before excusing myself early and returning to my bedroom. My mum called me from downstairs. KG! You have a call! It's from Sonozaki-san! Sonozaki? Was it Mion? No, it was Shion. I just remembered. She'd had something she wanted to tell me today. Oshi-san has interrupted us, so she didn't get the chance. Shion had said she'd call tonight. Hello? Is that you, Shion? Hello? Ran into a bit of trouble today, didn't we? She said it so plainly that I got a bit annoyed. She was the one who left me there and ran. Don't say that. I gave you the signal to run away with me, didn't I? You just sat there looking dazed, Kei-chan. I wasn't dazed. All of a sudden you left me there, and after that I put up with that Oshi-san guy for ages. Don't complain to me about it. I can't believe she passed it off like that. She looks just like Mion, and yet inside, she's different. I got a little irritated at myself when I realized I was somewhere in my mind hoping for the same reaction I would get from Mion, even though she's a different person. Sorry, next time I'll run away the first thing and leave you there. Hey, ladies first! Keiji, you hungry? May you offer you chibi at this trying time? No! Emotional support chibi, but not food chibi. He can have one of my Briny Rose Smith pillows that has a chibi on it that you can buy from my website. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Shion laughed refreshingly. When I heard her voice, I realized that she wasn't that angry with me or anything. It was just as she said. The cause of my temper was because of my own fault for not leaving immediately. I'll stop blaming it on others. He's kind of learned something here, even if it's not, you know, how to deal with his problems. It's like taking blame on himself. So, trap your soul into a pillow, then eat the pillow. Got it? No! At least if you're going to trap my soul in there and eat it, you better put it in a cake. Put it in something tasty. But don't do it in general. I'm so torn between myself when you say shit like that. I'm like, on the one hand, I could tell you not to do it. On the other hand, I could tell you to do it better. Blaming it on others would be... Anyway, you had something to tell me, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, if you already know, then it's not something that bears repeating. Do you already know? Shion lowered her voice suddenly, as if she were glancing around. I had no idea what I could already know. Sorry, but I have no clue what you're talking about. At least give me a hint. So that means... you don't know. She seemed to take my stupid-sounding question as evidence. However, her voice didn't sound disappointed or exacerbated in the slightest. Actually, it's about last night, during the Wataganashi festival. My entire body jolted as I was assailed by a terrible feeling. Is Shion going to ask the same thing? Hello? Kei-chan, are you listening? Yeah, I am. What about last night? The four of us went in there, right? She didn't beat around the bush. Whether or not I wanted to admit it, that was the actual honest truth, and I couldn't act like it hadn't. Then after that, we walked away together, and then we went our separate ways near the stone stairs, right? Takano-san and Tomitake-san went to the stream, and you stayed there, Kei-chan. I went over to see some relatives. Yeah? Why do you ask? We won't make any progress if we keep asking each other questions, so let me ask you this first, okay? You mean, did I see Tomitake-san and Takano last night? Huh? Oh yeah. Did you see the two of them after that? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. This was the third time I've been asked the question today. Why? Why? What the hell's going on? Why? Why are you asking me that? No, Kei-chan, I'm asking the question. Please answer me. Did you, Shion? If you answer first, then I'll answer. My shabby response betrayed how scared and small I felt now, after everything that happened today. Shion didn't say anything for a few moments. Just as I was beginning to think I'd put my foot in my mouth with what I responded, she finally answered me. Of course I didn't see them. My relatives were with me, and they can vouch for that. I didn't see them either. People can vouch for me too, like Mion and Renner and everyone else. Now that we knew our answers matched, she let out a sigh that sounded more relieved than anything else. Thank you for answering me honestly. Okay then, I'll tell you. Apparently last night, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died. Ba ba ba. Sorry, Shion, what was that you just said? Apparently last night, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died. Takano-san was found burned to death. Tomitake-san was... well, it looked like suicide. I found out this morning. I heard my dad talking about it to a relative on the phone. A relative on the phone asked about it. Late last night, a police car on its way back to the festival security had discovered Tomitake-san lying in the middle of the road heading towards Okinomiya. He had clawed out his own throat and died. What? He clawed out his own throat? How familiar! That bright, cheerful Tomitake-san committed suicide? It's always the same for that poor man. It is. That throat don't stay where it's supposed to be. That can't be possible, right? The police did an autopsy. He did it with his own fingernails. He scratched at his throat so hard he ruptured the blood vessels and bled out. He died in a pool of his own blood, that's what they said. Sorry, that was me. I was feeling a bit silly. At Polar Wolf, straight to jail for you. when they called Tomitake the throat goat. This isn't what I thought they meant! Lol. You can't just scratch open... I've never heard of such an insane suicide. You can't just scratch open your own throat like that. I realized I was yelling too loudly. I lowered the force I was putting into my voice. I didn't want my parents to hear me, so I switched to the cordless phone and ran up to my room. It's a canon event. Yeah, it is, in fact, a canon event. Sorry for yelling. So, was Takano-san? Was that a suicide too? In her case, it's a little unclear. Takano-san's body was found in the mountains of Gyufu Prefecture. Employees at a rest stop reported to the police late last night that they could see flames up in the mountains. The firefighters dispatched there were the first ones to find her. An autopsy concluded that it was the burned corpse of a half-naked female. They initially considered the body beyond recognition, but after there was a request for a dental comparison from the XX Prefecture police station in Okinomiya, and the results concluded that it was Mio Takano. The cause of death wasn't confirmed, but it was highly likely to have been homicide, since she was in her undergarments and her clothes were nowhere in the area. Yeah, bye. The oil drum had fallen over, so it's possible that she burnt herself to death. Couldn't possibly have been suicide. If you were going to die, there are plenty easy ways, aren't there? This can't be suicide. That's what I think. It's unthinkable that Tomitake-san would kill himself too. After the two of us rattled on at each other, there was a silence as we paused to catch our breaths, as we calmed our nerves. Right then I understood what Shion's story actually meant. I think it'll end up being Onishiro-sama's curse. We all did more than enough to deserve it after all. Deserve? You've got to be kidding me. It's not like Shion wanted to see it with me. I just went along with her. I tried to say that, but I fell silent. Nothing would come of me blaming others. It didn't matter how much everyone else encouraged me. I could have put my foot down. I lost to my own half-assed sense of adventure and agreed to go in with them. Yes, it was my fault and no one else's. Shion, last night when we snuck into the ritual storehouse, did you predict things would turn out this way? Of course not. I mean, I thought it was pretty risky, but I never even dreamed of something like this could happen. Shion's words were probably her true feelings. She knew she could get in trouble if we were caught, but that was the thrill of this little adventure. It was the same for me. Besides that, Kei-chan, think about it for a moment. Didn't Onishiro-sama's curse turn out a little strange this year? It was already plenty strange seeing how Tomitake-san and Takano-san died like that. Given all that, what could possibly be stranger? I mean that they found 2 corpses. Remember what I said? Every other year, one person would die and one person would disappear. This year, the first time 2 people have been found dead. That may be true, but it's not a huge deal, is it? It is, Kei-chan. Think about it harder. Listen, if 2 people died because of Onishiro-sama's curse, then in order to quell Onishiro-sama's anger, 2 people will need to be sacrificed. Is that how it works? So what? Tomitake-san and Takano-san died, so now 2 people are going to go missing this year? I don't understand why, but when I said that, I felt my spine freeze. I don't think anyone's been confirmed missing yet. I think that those two people have yet to disappear. Shion, like me, was obviously get the same feeling crawling down her back. Two people have yet to disappear. Shion didn't answer. I couldn't say any more than that either. A chill crept through my clothes and tried to wrap into a fist around my heart, cold hands feeling about my chest. Neither of us could say anything. Tomitake-san opened the lock and he died. Takano-san exposed the ritual storehouse and she died. If two more people were sacrificed, then they would be none other than the ones who entered with them. None other than us. No. This has got to be a joke. I wanted so much for her to pass this off as a joke, even now. That, though, was such an incredibly difficult and selfish request. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had died in a common way, like a car accident, I could tell myself it was a coincidence. Instead, he clawed out his own throat and she burned to death, drowned in oil in the mountains. The two deaths were so out of the ordinary that I couldn't possibly dismiss it as mere coincidence. It was as if in exchange for sneaking into the ritual storehouse, there must be someone punishing us, some sort of cruel will working behind the scenes. Even so, I still didn't want to accept that terrifying truth. If I did, then I would have to acknowledge that horrible crisis growing near for Shion and I. That's why I argued against it. I argued knowing I was running away. In the first place, it's not even in the newspaper, is it? Such a monstrous incident would be all over the newspapers and television. Magazine writers would flood the village too, thinking it'd make for a great and interesting story. Of course it's not getting reported by the media. That's how it was in the past too. When the incidents occurred for the third year in a row, there were some third-rate magazines that sniffed out the story and ran issues full of gossip columns about Hinamizawa. Fearing that the region would develop a negative stigma, they negotiated with the prefecture and the police. Since last year, it became a big conspiracy where no information about the incidents was allowed to leak to the media. I hear the elders and the top brass of the Sonozaki family put all the pressure they could on the police. Then you mean their deaths are going to be dealt with in total secrecy? Eh? Sorry, I clicked things. That's how it is. Of course the police are investigating it. That's being performed in secret too, though I hear the investigation itself is very restricted to what it can do, what it can and can't do. You could essentially say they're interfering with the police investigation. The story was unbelievable. People died and yet they don't publicize it and deal with everything in secret? If we break it down further, it means that no matter who dies on the night of Wataganashi, it won't go public. That's the biggest pile of bullshit I ever heard. Kei-chan, before I said how the villagers could be the ones carrying out Onigashiro-sama's curse, that's what I mean. At some point, a tradition was created here in Hinamizawa, where every year you're allowed to kill someone on the night of Wataganashi under the guise of it being Onigashiro-sama's curse. When someone dies on the night of Wataganashi, it turns into the curse of Onyashiro-sama. The curse turns into the serial murders incident. In order to avoid exacerbating negative stigma surrounding Hinamizawa, those incidents are dealt with in secret. That's insane! Dead and missing people turn up every year? However bad the stigma gets, the police have to draw a line somewhere, don't they? You could say the incidents happening every year is mysterious, but the police can get their job done when they need to. After all, the incidents always get resolved individually. It doesn't end up being a string of incidents, you know. It just so happens that something unfortunate might happen on the night of Wataganashi every year. That's all it turns into. Suddenly reminds me of a story of a curse that was killing a family when they hit 25, but the curse was actually just an immortal wizard breaking in and killing them. That's funny. Sack of twins would be funny. Darn wizards. First they cast unspeakable horrors in the war, and now they go making up curses for fun. These wizards must be stopped at all cost. Keiji keeps getting chills. He really should go to the hospital and get that checked out. Probably yes. That someone is a funny immortal wizard, Keiji, or at least that's what I believe. Maybe there's a funny immortal wizard, I don't know. Also, geez, that curse sounds really annoying to be around. You stared at my forbidden mirror without knowing what it was for 2 seconds. You get death! Absolutely zero chill. There is no chill with this curse. Oh, I pressed a button. Keiji is coping so hard. Fortune curses don't have a chill option. They really don't. Normal person would be thinking this is less curses and more just rich people with murder. It's rich people with murder using curses as an excuse. Most of the criminals responsible for the original dismemberment were arrested. The last one managed to get away and stay away, but events were totally exposed and elucidated, so it was, in essence, resolved. The damn supporting couple who died in an incident the second year, that was an accidental death, plain and simple. They made a lot of investigations into the possibility of it having been a homicide, but they didn't turn up anything. In the end, it ended up as an accident. It was resolved. On the third year, the priest fell ill and ran away. There were doctors present at the hospital at his deathbed, and they all had trustworthy medical certificates. They even did an autopsy. It concluded that it wasn't homicide. That was resolved too. On the fourth year, the sister-in-law of the damn supporting couple was murdered. The criminal was an abnormal man with a history of regular psychostimulant usage. He confessed that he thought Onyashiro-sama's curse was so interesting that he wanted to try it out. The criminal died of an accident while imprisoned. So this incident was essentially resolved as well. That's right. None of the incidents had any relation to another, and each was independently resolved. The music is good. The music is very good. They're just capturing that tenseness. Oh. So then, why does an unfortunate coincidence occur every year on the night of Wataganashi? You can try and say it's a string of related incidents, but they're not related. Yet every year, someone dies. Someone always disappears. The story Takano-san told me on the day before the set. One second. I just need to pour more water into this tea. It's too strong. Yay. Sounds like I was peeing, but I wasn't. I was pouring tea. I was pouring water into my tea. There we go. Taking the Purge movies to heart too much. Speedrunning. Murder to Cut next door. from killing victims this year. They just mismemed them killing the dead. Yes. Now that the curse really had occurred this year, I couldn't just laugh it off. Then does that mean it'll come for us too? Just like how one person dies and one person disappears every year? Are you saying we'll be taken along with Tomitaka-san and Takano-san and erased too? What kind of tea am I having? I'm having some cold brew blackcurrant flavored tea. But it was getting a little strong. My lips had at some point become completely dry, and just saying that was difficult. Shion didn't respond. Her silence, however, was the clearest form of confirmation she could give me. We need to be sure we went somewhere we shouldn't have. I mean, sure, we went somewhere we shouldn't have, but we were just looking, right? We didn't steal anything or take anything out, and we didn't tell anyone that we looked, right? I was already regretting having committed such a wrong. Even so, was it really so bad that Tomitaka-san and Takano-san deserved such cruel deaths? Besides, I didn't care about anything I saw in there at all. Takano-san was the only one getting happy over it, wasn't she? Takano-san was the one at fault. She kinda is, really. No, none of you would have got in there if it wasn't for Takano-san. That's pretty much confirmation bias, KG. People die every new year, yet we don't say there's a funky curse. Yeah, but are they all connected to a dam project that nearly destroyed a town? I'm not interested. I'm not involved. I don't give a shit about what was in there. I knew saying so wouldn't solve anything. Oh, you're having tea too? Honey ginger. Oh, that sounds lovely. The funky curse is life. The funky curse is a part of life. I could feel myself, my cold self, in the innermost depths of my heart, disgusted at my pointless howling. However, my emotion had broken through the dam, and I couldn't stop them anymore. I didn't have any interest in this from the start. Damn it! All I wanted to do was watch Rika-chan's performance. You were the one who pulled me away from that, weren't you, Shion? I don't give a rat's ass about whether those two were trying to steal something or try to meet up secretly or whatever. That's right. You were the one who made me go in there in the first place, Shion. You were all, Candy-chan, you need to see what's inside. And you convinced me and then pulled me in. Why the hell did you do that? I didn't have anything to do with this. What will you do? What are you going to do? Damn it! How are you going to take responsibility for this, huh? Hey, are you listening? Click. Yeah, fair. Shion doesn't deserve that. Bro, you had a choice. You had a choice and you made the wrong one. La 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 la. Shion was just as terrified as I was. I just said some really self-centered things. Yes, you did, sweetie. I mean, it's a pretty close connection. Storehouse is just being petty for petty's sake. Yeah. Onishiro-sama wouldn't let you get away with shit, though. My riled up emotions disappeared as if they'd never existed, and in their place surged waves of deep regret, having wrung my mouth so irresponsibly. I could try to call out Shion's name from beyond our disconnected phone, but it was too late. What have I done? Heart palpitations, chills, dry lips. He needs to get checked out. He does. He's having a bad time. Shion was only trying to tell me as much as she could about this thing about to descend upon us. As for me, I could only whine about it like a child. I went to call her back, but then remembered she lived in Okinomiya. I didn't know her phone number. Since I had declared to Mion that I hadn't seen Shion last night, I couldn't just call Mion and ask her for Shion's phone number. I was too scared. I couldn't even call her back. I was stricken with hopeless regret. I returned the receiver to its stand, and I simply prayed that Shion would call me back again. Please, Shion, calm down and call me again. Hello, this is my butter. I swept up the receiver as I thought it wouldn't go through if I grabbed it at the exact moment. Is this the Mayabara residence? Excuse me for the late call. I'm Kimiyoshi. Is this the head of the household? Man's already got a constitution score of 7 out of 20. He's got a wisdom stat of 8. Yeah, he can't keep his head. Cannot keep his head to save his life. I wonder who else will die this cycle. A few lived last time, but we need to pump those rookie numbers up. I don't know about deaths, but like I said, if I remember correctly, one of the most gruesome scenes in the series is in this chapter, so you'll have that at least. I'm not looking forward to it. It was the voice of a girl who clearly wasn't Shion. All my hopes rushed out of me. No, it isn't. If you need my dad, I'll go call him. I went to put the receiver down, but the caller stopped me hurriedly. Oh, no. If he's busy, then it's fine. This may be a strange question, but is my old man paying you a visit? No, nobody's here at the moment. I see. Again, I apologize for calling you so late at night. Goodbye. Woo, murder! I didn't say murder. I said gruesome. Clap. Yes. Yes, I do. Soothing. I very much mean yes. Yeah. I thought, bubbling with egotistic. I don't know who that was, but if Shion tried to call me while I was on the phone, I thought, bubbling with egotistic anger. Hey, wait. Give it a break, Keiji Mayabara. That made Shion mad at me, aren't they? The more I thought about it, though, the more I thought about that Shion had given up hope in the short time since we had our conversation, and didn't want to call anymore. Calm yourself, Keiji Mayabara. A gruesome scene, but no murder. 0 out of 10. Want a refund in chibi coin. Yeah, you boo now. You boo now. If Shion does call again, then first apologize in a calm voice. If you do that, then Shion should understand. However, no matter how long I waited, the phone didn't ring again that night. You see, sometimes foreshadowing can be really obvious. Foreshadowing can be. It's not always the job of foreshadowing to be subtle. Oh, we got some of Takano's notebook. Subtleties for cowards. Tips. Tips. Scrapbook. The significance of Wataganashi. Wataganashi, a festival of hunting for sacrifices and feasting on them. While the festival itself is remarkable, it has come to be considered a form of entertainment as well. Perhaps it was because of the disparity between being both an egregious act and a form of entertainment that the perpetrators began to believe themselves transcendent. However, I found some very interesting literature that appears to raise questions about that explanation. As with most oral traditions, it's not easily swallowed, but it does mention a few things that sparked my interest. According to this literature, even the residents of Onigafuchi felt fear towards this ritual. Women and children would grow pale and tremble, and those of weak constitution would vomit. But it said that the feast, the dissection, was an obligatory viewing. This is an extremely curious tale. Until now, I had thought that the residents of Onagafuchi were fascinated by the Wataganashi ritual. They looked down on those vulgar barbaric humans and cut them open like fish, and by eating them, they reaffirmed their own holiness. At least that's what I thought. However, if what the villagers gained from this ritual was not fascination but fear, then that would suggest that the ritual meant something entirely different. There's the possibility that the executions were meant as warnings, encouraging the villagers to strictly follow religious precepts created by those within power for their own convenience. Onagafuchi has been effectively ruled over by 3 old families called the Three Families. Without investigating the 3 families, I probably won't get any closer to the truth of Onagafuchi village. So I'm guessing the next scrap is about the 3 families. I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards. God. With stakes that low, what on earth is Kay's class? Not a fighter, or barbarian with con that low. Not a source with little wisdom. He's... out of the classic ones, I'd say he's a bard or a rogue, because most of the time when he's been in a tight spot in his battles, he's mostly like made deals and used his charisma. So I'm gonna call him some kind of bard. Okay, he's just a widow guy. He's just a widow guy who did a bad. If we do jest on the chibi, can we call it Chibiganashi? I like that. The Chibiganashi feast. I don't like the eating of the chibi, but I like when you make a pun out of it. Yep, the 3 families. OBS. Oh, thank God. We okay? Apologies if things stuttered a bit there. Arguably, he's a paladin in a couple of loops. Yes, in a couple of the loops. Definitely not in this one. He's a dumbass cow in this one, that's for sure. For this one, he's a bard. For the other one, I'd probably say... for the first loop, I might call him a paladin. Like Paladin of Satoshi. KG ain't got a class just because he's a villager stat block, that's true. Sorcerer with no idea how to bring him on their innate magical ability, aka a commoner. To break it down, there was the Kimiyoshi family, the Furude family, and the Sonozaki family. Each of them still exists today. Though they don't have as much control as they did in the remote past, they still hold considerable influence today. The 3 families are considered by legend to be those in whom the blood of the swamp demons runs the thickest. The Kimiyoshi family. The Kimiyoshi family appears to have held great power as the head of the 3 families, but it doesn't have that kind of leadership today. The current mayor of the village, Kichiro Kimiyoshi, is from this family. The fact that the members of the Kimiyoshi family are elected as mayor every generation is thought to be a remnant of the old system. Of course, as no rival candidates appear, it doesn't change the fact that the Kimiyoshi family holds the mayoral office even through popular elections in the post-war era. The Furude family. The center of the village's faith since ancient times, the Furude clan has guarded the soul shrine dedicated to Onishiro-sama. They were worshipped as the only people to represent the voice of Onishiro-sama for a long time, but the family branched off after war and lost most of its power. It now consists of only the main house. The main house, as well, presently consists of only one daughter, Rika Furude, so the lineage may end in this generation. there is apparently an old tradition of honouring females of the Furde family, so the only daughter, Rika, is the subject of much respect among the elderly of the village. Sonozaki family. Based and true. The Sonozaki family. It's said that this family had a certain police-like role of protecting the religious and precepts of Onagafuji village. Of the three families, their relatively weak position can be seen from me by putting them here last. Of course, today the Sonozaki family is flourishing, and the state of affairs among the three families has completely reversed. Even now, one could say that they are in control of Hinamizuwa. The three families conferring with each other is similar to the old way. The current head of the Sonozaki family, Oryu, essentially decides all of the ongoings in the village by herself. All of the types of cool demon, and they gotta settle for the swamp. Yeah, for some reason they decided to make the portal to hell in the swamp, so... Last but not least, the late night phone call. Excuse me for the late call. I'm Kimiyoshi. Is this the head of the household? Yes. No, not at all. Thank you very much for that. Yes, well, you see, I do apologize for calling at this hour, but I was wondering if your old man was visiting you at the moment. If our old man was visiting you at the moment. You've got that right, yes. Once again, I'm very sorry for calling you so late. Goodbye. So no good? I'm not sure what to do. He may be passionate about it, but he always at least gave us a call. You called everyone he plays go with, didn't you? Hello, this is Kimiyoshi. This is Sonozaki. How'd it go? Have you found the mayor? Oh, Mion-san. Mion-chan, I called everyone I could think of, but came up with nothing. We can't find him. What do I do? Where could he be idling about? I put in a word with a bunch of people who might have an idea, but nobody did. I asked Nana about it. She said we should get the men of the village together to search for him. At this hour, I mean, it's not like he's definitely gone missing. Wataganashi just happened. She thinks we should be a little more cautious. We still can't find him. If we still can't find him, then we notify the police tomorrow morning. Whether or not we find him, though, we should refrain from making any false accusations. Oryu-san said that. Yes. If you can't trust her without hearing her voice, then I can put her on for you. No, that's fine, I understand. We'll get the men together and search. If we still can't find him, then we'll notify the police in the morning. She'll leave it to you to organise the men. I'll be here as well, as Nana's representative. Thank you. I'll get everyone together immediately. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. So the mayor's gone missing. It's all an ogre now for the swamp. If I was in charge of a portal to hell, I'd put in my local gas station bathroom. It would make it cleaner. Fair. See, if you were gonna summon me for favors and such, and you put the portal in a swamp, I'd feel a type of way about it. Yeah, fair. Be one way to ensure people return the keys, bring back the keys, or get cursed by the toilet demon for the rest. Is there not a manga like that? The toilet-bound Hanako, I believe it's called. It's about a toilet demon. Toilet ghost, technically, I think. Continue! There was no way I'd be able to sleep. When she hung up the phone like that, I realised for the first time what kind of situation I was in, as well as who the only ally who would support me was. I waited with bated breath for Shion to calm down and call me back. What would I do if the phone rang while I was asleep? No matter how long I waited, it never rang. Exhausted, whenever my mind started to wander, I would jolt awake as though I heard the phone ring. What on earth have I been reading? There's an anime and everything! Toilet Bound Hanako! It's a thing! It's a real anime! I haven't read it. I kind of want to, though. What? Thank you! Thank you for the super! Yay! Beep, 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 beep. I like the super. Give it a like. I'm afraid I don't know your taste well enough to really recommend you read something, but I want to show you some love regardless. Aww, thank you. Yeah, told about Hanako. It's fun to read. See? It's not just me! It is a fun read. Yeah, it does look fun. It does look like a giggle. But a little macabre at the same time, which I kind of like. The Never-Ending Curse. You expand iron gear production. And then the Never-Ending Curse of Factorio, you say. In the end, I brought the cordless phone with me to my futon and went to sleep with it in my arms. Though it still doesn't amount to anything. Morning came, and by that time I was pretty sure she wasn't calling back. That was when a fierce drowsiness assailed me. Damn it. This is no time for sleep, Keiji Mayabara. I slapped myself in the face a few times. Then I went to the washroom and washed my face, which was something I didn't usually do. That wasn't enough either, so I brushed my teeth. After that, I was finally wide awake. When Mum saw how strange I was acting, her eyes went wide. What's wrong, Keiji? Are you going somewhere today? Yeah, to school. Next thing we know, we're at school. Toilet Bound Hanako is a really fun read. It doesn't go hard sometimes. I see. It does go hard sometimes. Righto, righto. God, the curse of Factorial. Stick to the curse of RimWorld modding. Some would say the solution to stop expanding would be to close the game. Keiji-kun, you don't look so good today. Do you have a cold? I'm not sick. I just didn't get too much sleep. If I space out and start talking nonsense, just humor me. I wonder what kind of nonsense you'll say, I wonder. Now I'm looking forward to it. Oh. I feel utterly shattered. And I still hadn't picked myself up this morning. And for precisely that reason, Rena's honest smile was a sight for sore eyes. Apparently he doesn't wash his face in the morning. Yo. What's up, K-chan? Rena? And we know Mion didn't get any sleep because she was trying to look for the mayor all night who was apparently gone fucking missing. Good morning. What? Mi-chan, you look like you didn't get much sleep either. Mion had gone home early yesterday with a hangover, but she didn't look good this morning either. Her usual cheerfulness was completely buried in shadow. Yeah, I went to bed at like 3. I'm a little tired. 3? Right after yesterday? Hey now, you can't just keep staying up late. You probably read the first volume of a manga and thought it was interesting, then read the entire series, didn't you? I understand. I've done that before. No, I have done that before. I was about to boast that I have not done that, but I have done it with fan fiction before. I'm happy with rookie numbers like that. 3 is enough for me. If I see 11 o'clock, I'm tired in the morning. Let alone 3. Bryony has a 10 p.m. bedtime. And she likes it. I joked, trying to shake off my sleepiness. I was trying to be considerate. However, neither Mion nor Rennis smiled. In fact, they didn't even pay attention. Rennis' expression immediately darkened. What? What? Wait, is this about the mayor? He still hasn't been found? No. Hey, wait a minute. What are you talking about you can't find the mayor? Even the classroom, which was normally bursting with bright jokes and voices, seemed filled with a different sort of murmur today. Good morning, Katie-san. Have you heard? It looks like something terrible has happened. I don't really know this mayor person, but he's an older guy, right? Couldn't he just be wandering around, senile? The mayor is certainly not senile. He's a sprightly man who can teach both calligraphy and swordsmanship. He probably got lost somewhere like me. Oh, lost Rika. Oh, I gotta take you home with me. Oh, my Skydee. Getting lost is only cute because children like Rika can do it. A worn-out old man getting lost isn't moe in the slightest. Which reminds me, it's 11 p.m. I really should go to bed. Howdy, Crusader! Go get some fucking sleep! Treat yourself. Get yourself curled up in a nice comfy bed with big snuggly pillows and be like, I get a plushie. Plushies always make it better too. Be a true Chad and just forget to sleep. It's totally unhealthy. Trust me. Now! Sleep is good. You all must sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep. Oh, sleepy time. Waking up early always feels so good, even though I never do it. Waking up never feels good. I just want to sleep. I fell asleep at 4 a.m. and was up at 6 a.m. So it explains why I look, at least I hope. Explains why you lurk, but is also impressive that you managed to get in for all the Minecraft streams. You lost the mayor? He ain't exactly a pair of car keys, love. I have only ever woken up well rested and wide awake once in my life. I believe the only times I've really woken up, even with the amount of sleep I get, the only time I wake up well rested is if I'm going on holiday or Christmas. Or Comic-Cons. I wake up good for Comic-Cons. I like Comic-Cons. While my mind entertained dumb thoughts like that, our teacher arrived. Everyone rushed to their seats. And we did a school. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Class. The class greeting was normal, but the atmosphere in the room was heavy. Some of you may have already heard, but last night, despite the late hour, the mayor never came home. Is there anyone here who saw the mayor yesterday? One or two hands went up in the silence, and they told her about having seen him. None of it seemed to be vital information, however, and everyone began whispering among themselves. I wonder what the finder's fee for a lost mayor is. Probably a fair amount. If anyone has seen the mayor, please tell an adult about it, alright? Now then, let's begin class. After that, the same old lessons began. My internal clock always wakes me up at 5 a.m. no matter what time I go to sleep at night. So you probably should go to sleep, you know, to get your 8 hours, knowing that you're going to be up at 5 a.m. regardless. Mine depends on the sunlight of what time I'm up. The sun wakes me up more than anything else. Even with blackout curtains! The rumours, once quieted, blossomed into flowers again at lunchtime. I could hear a few different conversations. They were mostly related to the mayor's disappearance. Summing them all up, I came out with this. Yesterday evening, the mayor went to a meeting at the Shrine's Assembly Hall. The meeting ended after the sun had fully set and everyone left. The elder's house was a bit far from the centre of Hinamizawa. It was already late and Hinamizawa doesn't have a lot of lights outside. Nobody saw the mayor after the meeting. However, because he would have been hungry, he wouldn't have taken any side trips. He would have gone straight home. However, no matter how long his family waited, he never returned. I do indeed write books, Soothing. I have written five and a bit of them now. Five superhero novels, one short story collection that has my VTuber lore, and one short story which was like a steampunk D&D-esque thing. They're all very cool, and everyone should buy them. There are links in the description. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to shill. I found one oil field. Yay! The mayor is an adult, so if we find the mayor, we can tell the mayor that we found the mayor. Might probably just meet Steve on the way back. Should be like a week if they survive the teleport. So Rad, what would you recommend starting with? So if you're interested in my writing, I'd recommend starting with Moon Girl 1. Because all the superhero ones are a series, so obviously start with book 1 there. If you are more interested in my VTuber-ness, I would first go with actually the short story collection, Tales of a Trapped Writer. Yeah, I went with writer in the end, didn't I? Tales of a Trapped Writer. Like I said, it has a kind of an explanation of my VTuber lore, as well as sprinkled in just some short stories that I wrote for fun. It's a very short one, so you'll be done in that one in no time, and then you can move on to the novels after that. Some thought there might have been an accident. They left no stone unturned and searched from the irrigation channels to the water wells, and even the rice paddies didn't find him. Of course, there was a limit to how far they could search in the middle of the night. Duly noted. Now weekend plans. Yay! The police were going to wait for daylight, then have the young men of the town help search. If, after all this, they still didn't find him, they were apparently even going to look into the mountains. Even now, as at this moment, the adults were probably all searching for him. The more they searched in vain, and the more time passed, the only thing that came to mind was the curse. The rumours of Onikagushi, of the demoning away. Had he become this year's sacrifice to Onyashiro-sama's curse, which had been recently occurring every year? That was a scary possibility which everyone thought about, but nobody could say aloud. Was slowly but surely spreading throughout the village. Was he demoned away and offered as a sacrifice to quell Onyashiro-sama's anger? My classmates were whispering to each other that the curse didn't happen this year, so there shouldn't have been any sacrifices. I, on the other hand, I knew. The curse did happen again this year, and there were 2 people that died. This may sound strange, but I hadn't exactly thought the elder would be the one to go missing. My reason was clear. Shion and I should have been higher priority than him. The 4 of us were thieves that broke the taboo and set foot into the sacred ritual storehouse. If Tomitake-san and Takano had suffered mysterious deaths, then it should have been mine and Shion's turn next. This time it should have been Shion and me, eh? I laughed painfully to myself. I yelled at Shion over the phone that I didn't want to end up in such a terrifying situation, but now that someone other than me had disappeared, I could only think that I should have been the first to go. Onigafuchi, the bottomless swamp said to have been the place where they drowned sacrifices long ago. Just as it ran through my thoughts, the villagers must have also considered the swamp. Maybe the police divers were plumbing its depths even now. They probably won't find anyone. Not a single missing person had ever been found. They'd always suspected Onagafuchi, but not once had they ever turned up a corpse in it. After all, it was a devilish, bottomless swamp from which no one who sinks can ever return. I could hear someone telling their friend in their classroom, "Now that you mention it, Satoshi-san, he left around this time last year, didn't he?" Huh? Satoshi? I'd never heard that name before. He was right. He disappeared because of last year's curse. The conversation was happening in the seat next to me, so I could hear it clearly. "Didn't we search the whole village like this for Satoshi-san too? We didn't find him either. Oh, what did we decide that was? A demoning away, right? Yeah. I heard he withdrew all his savings and ran away from home. Someone from the police said he was someone who saw him get on the bullet train at Nagia Station." Ran away, huh? Just to spite you, I'll read the third book, just to try and guess what happened in the previous two books. No! No. If you're going to do that, read the second one first. Read the second one. If you're going to not start with the first one, read the second one, please. Please. Because you'll just be really confused. The second one has the bigger reveal in it that you need to know. I wasn't that interested in the reason, which seemed understandable in this case. Everyone else who disappeared had their own reasons too. Either they were still on the run because they were criminals, or they were a corpse that couldn't be found. It's not like any of them suddenly disappeared into thin air for no reason. But they disappeared. Someone disappeared whenever the curse took a life, as if by design. They may have had various understandable reasons, but they still disappeared. From that point of view, it really might have been a demoning away this time. The mayor's disappearance was the first such incident without a clear reason behind it. Of course, coming to that realization didn't help to resolve anything. Oh, hi, Retta. Hi. It looks like I messed up the seasoning today. Sorry. Normally Retta's lunch would have been devoured immediately, but today there were tons left. That wasn't because Retta's lunch didn't taste good or anything, though. That isn't the case. Your lunch today was delicious as always. Satoko dips her chopstick into Rena's bento box and pulls bits of food out one after another. Yes, delicious indeed. Today in particular, in fact. Chomp chomp. You know those are pumpkin croquettes, right? Are you okay? Yes. Your Retta voice is so cute. Yay! Yes, if it's your pumpkin croquettes, then it's delicious. Did Satoko dislike pumpkin? Regardless, she forced herself to smile and shoved more into her mouth. Satoko's bro. It would stand for Rena thinking that her food is bad. Everyone knew. Nobody's lunch tasted very good today. Satoko kept shoveling it down, repeating her remark on how good it was. If it's that good, then I guess I've got to have some too, or Satoko's going to eat it all, if we let her. It's just so good. So I would certainly like it if Keiji-san were to eat some as well. Well, sometimes I have to show you my adult generosity, right? Okay, don't hold back on my account. Eat enough for the both of us today. What a dick. Oh, she really, really hated pumpkin, didn't she? Sweetie. What's wrong with pumpkin? They're delicious. Obviously, Satoko does not agree with you. That made it all the more touching to see Satoko's own brand of generosity. I grabbed her head and started stroking it. Satoko, in somewhat exaggerated fashion, was bawling, tears streaming down her face. No way. You'll never grow up if you give away such good food. Rena, you eat too. I only have leftover vegetable stew, but it tastes great having sat overnight. Yeah. The daikon radish has such a pretty color going through it. It looks delicious. I'll have some then. Rena reached out with her chopsticks, and at last, the usual lunchtime atmosphere began to return. That was only at our desks, however. The darkest tales of Onishiro-sama's curse, which had reoccurred for 5 years in a row, didn't cease. The whole classroom remained stuck in this somber mood. I just made pumpkin bread dough to be baked when I inevitably wake up at 5 a.m. That sounds lovely, but baking should be done at a reasonable hour. Onishiro-sama's curse had happened for 5 years straight. Everyone had wanted the previous year to be the last. What was Onishiro-sama's curse anyway? They were going to build a dam in Hinamizawa. The people building it were bad, so they were cursed. I would admit that much. Still, the dam project was frozen years ago, wasn't it? So why was the curse stubbornly persisting? I hit myself on the cheeks to perk myself back up. Everyone was trying so hard to brighten the mood, I couldn't go straight back to thinking about the curse like that. I forced the grim story out of my head. Driving Onishiro-sama's curse out of my thoughts was actually a good idea. In the end, that meant I would also be driving away the most terrifying thought of all, that I could be the curse's next target. Mion's taking a while, isn't she? How long does it take to wash your hands? Mion said she was going to wash her hands and left, and she hadn't come back yet. She's probably taking a little afternoon nap somewhere. I think she was up pretty late last night looking for the mayor, after all. I smiled wryly and let out a sigh. Today was no good. However much we tried to lighten the mood, things always came back to the mayor. It was just a no-good day. And in the wisdom of some guy on TikTok, give up, try again another day, go to bed. I had just transferred here recently, so the shock of a curse happening 5 years running was an unimaginably big one. Maybe I do need to appreciate that. When Michan was really little, the mayor would always spoil her. When she was going through her pranks phase, he loved her like his own daughter. She told me that often. I see. Mion was in shock too. Someone disappearing at all because of a curse was a scary thing. If the sacrifice was someone you knew, though, then the shock must be 100 times worse. Satoko, as if she'd come to the same conclusion, bit her lower lip and looked downward. Oh, Rika-chan is taking a while too. Maybe they're taking a nice afternoon nap together? Rika wasn't out that late. As soon as she yawned, everyone gathered around her and started saying good night, good night. Now that she mentioned it, there was a lot of people rubbing their prayer beads in fervent gratitude towards Rika-chan during the festival too. An image of the indulgent elderly came to mind. Had Rika-chan discovered a new way to get herself pampered like that? Is there any reason the old people treat Rika-chan like an idol? Is she their ideal image of a granddaughter or something? I don't know anything about that. But I want to see Rika-chan yawning. He's so cute. It's probably all like, wow. Oh, I want to take her home. I don't personally think it's that cute. It's more of a gua. And she opens her mouth really wide so you can see the back of her throat. Jet's giant yawn! Oh. Rika's handy at times. Rena's handy at times like these. I finally managed a heartfelt laugh. Alright. I'm on day duty today, aren't I? I had to go water the flowers in the garden. The garden is right outside the teacher's lounge too, so they can immediately tell if you don't do it right. Well, I think Sadako-chan is cute, but not only Rika-chan. Giant yawn. God, breathe. Oh, gotta get a glimpse and we're so cute. Sadako-chan is cute too. Gonna take you home. Rena was strangling Satoko, so I don't think that counts as yawning. You know, Rena is... I can't say it out loud, but she's a notorious censored, isn't she? A notorious kidnapper, a notorious lolicon, a notorious B.I.G. I don't know. Isn't she? Sweat. Hearing Satoko make weird noises like a chicken being strangled was kind of hilarious, and I couldn't help but laugh. At some point, the classroom erupted into laughter too. Maybe Rena was doing it on purpose. Even if she wasn't, this nonsense was a welcome sight. Anyway, let's get over to the flowers while I still have time. Slowly and quietly, lest I destroy the room's newfound peace, I left the classroom. Rena's gonna abduct someone one day. Yes, she is. Multiple people. And they're all gonna be tied up in her basement. The watering can is hanging outside the kitchen. This building had originally been an all-male foistery service building, so there was apparently nothing so thoughtful as a garden here before. When they decided to have a school share the space, they built one there as a modest gesture of appreciation. But, well, the flower bed was a little longer than you'd expect. It went all around. It went all over the place. It was so big, one would need to refill the watering can 5 or 6 times to get it all done. I was doing this together with a kid who was also, thankfully, on day duty today. She was in the lowest grade, though, and had a full size smaller than even Rika-chan. I couldn't make a kid who would struggle to even lift a full watering can help me with this. If you were placed on day duty with someone who liked this sort of thing, they'd do it all for you, so it'd be cake. No point in blaming her. I give up. I'll just get started. Watering can in hand, just as I was about to leave the building, the old man from the forestry office addressed me. Sonny, there's a vegetable garden behind the warehouse, right? It's all just about dried up. Water that too, would you? Oh, you mean the curry vegetable garden? The one with the potatoes, carrots, and other things that are only ingredients for curry. It's definitely the personal garden of our curry-loving teacher, but making students responsible for its upkeep is getting them involved in her personal affairs. I couldn't say that to his face, though, and I gave up, deciding to carry out my day duties. Time to water some flowers! The sunlight out from the front was strong. The great chorus of cicadas was strongly underlining how nothing was different today than yesterday. I passed the classroom, and I didn't know how it happened, but Rena and Satoko were in the middle of a huge melee. While I was gone, the kids arranged desks in a circle, forming a ring, while everyone was cheering them on. You finally feeling eepy? Then I highly suggest you go to bed, Howdy Crusader. Have a nice sleep. Night-night. Sweet dreams, Hardy Crusader, sweet dreams. Yep, that's how it should be. Once school ended, we needed to return to reality, where talk of the elders' disappearance would once again be all over the place. I wanted to everyone forget about everything and have fun, just like yesterday, if only while we were at school. In that sense, Satoko's whirling elbow and Rena's backward flying spin kick made for a pleasant sight. Even if, as a result, they flipped over my desk. My pencil box. I'll just let it happen today. This is fine. This is fine. I set to work, hastily watering everything, wanting nothing more than to be done as soon as possible. That should about do it. No sooner as I thought that, I remembered that I had to water the teacher's curry vegetable garden too. Oh, that's such a pain, but I have a feeling it'll come back to bite me if I don't. I gave up, filled the can with water again, and headed behind the warehouse. This was a place students didn't go. It was always damp here, and you couldn't discard the possibility of slugs and pill bugs being around. So when I ran across her in a place like that, I was surprised. Whoa! Oh, it's Rika-chan. Don't scare me like that. Rika-chan was just standing there like a puppet devoid of life. I wasn't the only one who startled here. Rika-chan didn't even react to my appearance. Rika-chan? Finally, she noticed me. Her expression was clearly abnormal. There was red under her eyes, stained with tears and dirt. There were blades of grass stuck to her hair, too, and her clothes looked as though she'd fallen to the ground. Rika-chan? Are you hurt? Best girl. She is best girl. I'll admit, I love Rena more. This is second best girl, but she also is best girl. For a different reason, kind of thing. To be vague. Did you fall? No. That isn't it. Rika-chan said in the brightest voice she could manage as she rubbed her eyes. They're both best girls for very different reasons. She didn't look anywhere near normal, though. What happened? Were you sleeping on the storehouse roof and fell off or anything, did you? Don't worry about me. I have something I want to ask you, Keiji. Oh lord, she's gonna ask me the same questions again, isn't she? Please don't ask me those questions again. Please don't ask me those questions again. I don't want to answer those questions for the fourth time, okay? At first, I thought she was playing a trick on me. Eventually, however, I realized it was so that I wouldn't run from the question she was about to ask. I shuddered. What do you want from me? She looked straight into my eyes. Her upturned eyes bored right into me. It was as though they were trying to pull the answer out of my own eyes, without actually asking me the question. It was so scary I averted my eyes from her. Keiji? Nipa? Did you do something bad on the night of the festival? My body gave a jolt from its very core. Rika-chan, who was clinging to me, might have felt my shiver. A nervous tingle crawled up from my feet, and after going up my back and freezing my entire body, it made its way into my brain. Keiji, do you really not remember? My head began to throb. I don't understand anything. Mion asked me, Oshi-san asked me, Shion asked me, and now Rika-chan was asking me? We thought nobody knew about what we did last night, but in fact, everyone knew. They all knew, and they came to ask me again and again until I admitted it. When I thought about it, it was pretty clear the whole thing was out in the open. After all, don't Tomitake-san and Takano-san's deaths prove it? Keiji, how should I respond? We never should have entered the Forbidden Storehouse, and even though I regretted it so much, and she wasn't saying it enough. However, I had all but decided what I was going to say. I'm not exactly a good kid, you know. I've done lots of bad things, so I can't say I remember anything specific. Just as I had with all the others, I evaded the question. Rika-chan stared up at me with innocent eyes. Her eyes were so painful that I had to look away. After a few moments of mutual silence, Rika-chan released me. I'm sorry for asking you something strange. Please forget about it, she said, smiling her usual smile. Then, tap, 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 she went running off as if nothing happened. As she retreated in the silence, I could feel her accusing me. Oh. No, Rika, I most certainly did commit several war crimes last night. I did no such thing, and I never would. Nipa, is Ni creepy right now? If she didn't hear my voice, then I wasn't going to give up. However, she heard it. Rika-chan swiveled. Did I say something? Rika-chan swiveled around and waited for me to continue. I was the one who had questions now. Still, asking them could be a half-assed way of admitting what I did. Hey, Rika-chan. What is it? If everyone knows anyway, then I should be able to at least ask this, right? Why is everyone asking me about the night of the festival? That evening, had I done something that wrong? I felt plenty sorry about it. I only looked away. I didn't break anything or steal anything, really. Still, Tomitake-san and Takano-san, they died so miserably. Since those two had come to such an end, there's obviously no way it would forgive me. Rika cutely tilted her head in confusion and waited for me to say something. If I were to admit to what happened that night, though, she might suddenly do a 180 as if flipping a switch. That would make sense. Rika-chan was the shrine maiden. She was the least likely to forgive for breaking the taboo, wasn't she? But she's also a cute baby who I would trust with my life. Not that she could defend it. Upon reflection, wouldn't telling her be more terrifying than telling Mion or Oshi-san? Rika-chan could just give up and leave, couldn't she? She didn't. She only was quietly waiting for me to say it myself. Say it, Keiji Mayabara. If you really are sorry, then you should say so. Of course it's normal to hesitate given the crazy way Tomitake-san and Takano died. A pulping machine called Chaos was grinding up my brain. The juice wrung out of it turned into big droplets of sweat which began to fall. Damn that writing! Oh! I want to read that again. The pulping machine called Chaos was grinding up my brain. The juice wrung out of it turned into big goblets of sweat which began to fall. Oh, that's an image. That's so good. Keiji. Rika-chan suddenly straightened up and began to pat me on the head. I don't really understand what you're so worried about, Keiji. I had nothing to say to that. I lowered my head so Rika-chan's palm could reach it. She petted me, kind of like one would a cat. He is brilliant, honestly. Oh, I'm not sure. But they are brilliant. She can defend if she... Yes. That's why I was like, she probably can't, though. A lot has to happen before she can do something about it. Do you know about the big storehouse? A little way behind the shrine grounds? It stores implements we use for rituals. My breath literally stopped. Rika-chan, though, wasn't acting in a coercive way at all. Apparently on the night of the festival, a cat snuck into the storehouse. A cat? Okay, cool. Due to an unfortunate event of neighbours fighting outside, you can no longer feel EB. God damn it, neighbours! There's this old documentary about Akibahara that came out in like 2005 or so, and there's a whole feature on him, like around the time Hiku first came out. Oh, that's cool. A cat? Yeah, a cat. Meow meow. Rika-chan knew. She realized I was in fear. I could tell she was desperately trying to choose the right words so that she wouldn't scare me. The cat always wanted to explore inside the storehouse, but I was mean to it and never let it go inside. So on the night of the festival, the cat couldn't hold itself back any longer and went inside. She's talking about Takano-san, the cat. And cat was clearly supposed to be Takano-san. Keiji, you've never had any, like, want to go in the storehouse. She's not talking about you. Inside, there were a lot of things that scared the cat, although he is the one who got scared. Rika-chan made a cute gesture like a ghost coming out to frighten me. The cat was both terrified and amazed. It ran away as fast as it could. Clatter, clatter, shiver, shiver, meow, meow. It was terrible. This cat, who you saying it was? The cat is a cat. Meow, meow. Rika is still avoiding saying it. The cat, though, was without a doubt me. Rika-chan, please tell me. The cat, what should it do now? Maybe it was a desperate question to ask. I had sort of admitted to being the cat. The cat is just a cat. So it can just keep meowing and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine? That's stupid. Shouldn't it just keep meowing? Jeez, Rika-chan. I have to put together an entire conversation using a cat as a code. I didn't say it directly, but I had already admitted it. I didn't want to end up like those two. Kid just admitted to being a cowboy, yes! A cat boy! Sorry, not a cowboy, that's different. I'm a cowboy, half cat, half boy, half cow. What? I don't even know. I was trying to quote a TikTok and it failed. That's what I get for trying to be cool, I guess. I didn't want to be a sacrifice like Shion said. That's what I thought. I stubbornly remained silent. But now, that's enough. It can't just keep meowing. The dog saw the cat making mischief and sneaking inside. The dog? That's right. It was the dog. It keeps coming to the cat and trying to get it to say that it snuck inside. After that, Rika's expression clouded over. She was trying to hide it, but I'd already noticed her eyes darkening. Rika-chan. Yeehaw! Yeah, your name is probably why I said cowboy rather than catboy. The neurons were like, howdy, boy, cow. silence was frightening, so I spurred her on. At that point, Rika-chan grinned. It's alright. I'll protect the cat. Oh, Rika-chan! I love you. Huh? Meowdy, partner. I thought for a moment that I had misheard those words, so dependable they were. The cat's really scared, but it really isn't all that bad. I think of all the dogs are just misunderstanding. It's not all that bad. The cat is worrying too much. You'll do something about it for sure. I'll do something about it for sure. Rika-chan will do something about it? I didn't even know left from right at the moment, so Rika-chan didn't look all that dependable. It might be hard, but I'll do my best. Go for it. Yay! Nippa! She clenched her fist and stuck it into the air. Rika-chan said the cat must keep meowing. Can just keep meowing. She said to leave it all to her. Is that really all it took to resolve this whole thing? Will you really be alright, Rika-chan? If I don't do my best, then something bad could happen to the dogs too. I had no idea what Rika-chan was talking about anymore. She had been talking to me under the assumption that I was aware of certain things. So at first I understood her. Around the middle, though, I stopped understanding anything. However, one thing I did know was to not worry about it and leave it to her. Rika-chan straightened up once again, patted me on the head and smiled. I was so moved by that gesture of feeling I couldn't help but starting to cry. I'm sorry. The cat, it just really was just a little bit of mischief. I didn't think any of this would. It's too much of a scaredy cat. That's why it should never have seen the storehouse. She was right. It was far too shocking for someone to see based on a little bit of interest alone. That's why they made it difficult to look in the first place, wasn't it? Rika-chan, what will happen to the cat? Two of the cats that snuck in, well, that night I'd heard that Tomitake-san and Takano-san's death had been kept secret. Rika-chan might not have known about it. Tomitake-san and Takano. I gave a start at the sudden mention of actual names, though it's weird to do at this point. You should forget about them. Oh no, a typo. My spine froze again. Forget? Yeah. It won't do you any good to remember those two, Keiji. The more you think about it, the scarier it will get. The music coming in actually creeped you out a little bit. So you should forget about them as soon as possible. She said something so enormously terrifying without letting the smile on her face waver. I don't know where you heard about it from, but you should forget everything. Make your mind as clean as a scrubbed bathtub. Forget, Rika-chan, you know, don't you? You know how those two died. No matter how they died, it has nothing to do with you, Keiji. Rika declared this in a flat voice. Nothing to do with me? So forget about it? The girl before me, she was innocent and lovable, and even seemed trustworthy, but suddenly she took on another dimension. Don't get involved with their deaths. I'll help you, Keiji. Those two contradictory statements twisted and distorted my image of the girl in front of me. What about Shion? What'll happen to her? It might have been dangerous to mention Shion's name, but I couldn't stop myself from asking. Rika saw through everything anyway. There was no way I was going to fool her or keep anything from her at this point. The younger of the sister cats? Meow meow. Yeah, the little sister cat. Rika-chan appeared to think upon this for a moment. It was hard for me to endure this momentary silence. You have a figure of Rika? Lovely. Hello, Averwill. Welcome. She is a cutie. I bet it's a cute-ass figure. Forgot how long Higurashi streams last. Yes, we have a Friday 3-hour stream, which I'm kind of trying to wait for the end of the scene to stop it, rather than just cutting it off. The big sister cat is angry. The little sister cat did something bad, so she's really mad. The big sister cat? That could only mean Mion. I recall being questioned by her yesterday. Keiji, the big sister cat is not in a good mood at all. I think we should leave her alone for a while. Not in a good mood. Those words sent a shiver through me. Mion was mad. She was mad that we entered the ritual storehouse. Let's stop having club from now on. Huh? Why? It's impossible to find anywhere. I imagine so. They're kind of out of fashion now, aren't they? Higu's not popular enough to get the figures anymore. And if they do, it's normally Rena. I think we should leave her alone. Rika-chan ended her sentence with such force that I couldn't say anything in response. Hey Keiji Mayabata, don't disobey Rika right now. She's the only one who said she'll help me right now. I'll leave things to her just as she said to. I mean, she even said that the cat should just keep meowing. I'll forget everything, like she said. I'll leave everything to her. I'll forget everything about Takano-san and Tomitake-san and what I did that night. And then we heard a bell far away, marking the end of our lunch break. I guess we should go back to class. Keiji. As if she had noticed how miserable I was about leaving everything to her and fleeing the scene, Rika called out to stop me. If the misunderstanding dog comes to try and bite the cat, please tell me, okay? Are you playing the remastered version? I'm playing the Steam version with the fourth mod? 04 mod or something like that? The misunderstanding dog. She put it in such a cute way. The true meaning behind those words was an eerie one. Who's the misunderstanding dog? The dog that bit the mayor. I don't know why he did that. If it was going to bite anyone, it would be the trickster cat first. The flow of blood in my body felt like it completely stopped for a moment. This has a mod on. Yes, the original art style is a thing to behold. That is for sure. This has a mod on it. Run away from your problems. I sure hope this doesn't lead to consequences. But what if the overexcited duck takes the frightened mouse and eats the big shy badger? I know, I'm kind of lost what she's talking about. He was not, but he definitely knew how to write a story. Rika-chan had admitted it. The sacrifices of the terrible calamity. She admitted if they were to happen again, It would be she on an I. Or I. Don't remember Aesop's Fables being. I'm gonna stop it there. I think that's a good place to stop. Let's save there. Yeah. Let's save with our dependable Rika-chan and stop the stream for today. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone in chat. Thank you everyone who lurked. And thank you to everyone who watches the VOD. I appreciate you if you have not already. I'd also appreciate if you're on YouTube, if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you are on Twitter, are we back? Oh yay, we're back. Wonderful. Yeah. Blue snowball. Okay. What happened there was I was like gesturing with my hands as I do, even though you can't see them. But and then I knocked my mic and then the wire did the thing. Anyway, what I was gonna say, Mike died just like Tomatakis. Yeah, it's not a variety screen without a little bit of scuff. We were just making sure that we're scuffing together. It's fine. But anyway. I was going to say thank you for everyone who has hopped over to Twitch and made sure that number has been above 3 most of the time. Hopefully, after this stream, we will be very, 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 very close to affiliate. And on YouTube, we're very, 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 very close to 5k subs. How bonkers is that? Absolutely incredibly bonkers. So thank you everyone for getting close to that. I really appreciate it. I did the, if you have not already, like and subscribe bollocks. So let me talk you through all the ways you can give me some money. If you have money and it's in your pocket and you want to give it to me, here's some ways you can do that. Where you can get you can join YouTube membership where you get emotes, exclusive. We're going to do an exclusive stream next week for Patreons and members where we're going to read some SCP stuff again. Because that's always a good stream and I haven't done it for like 2 months now. For memberships you get a Discord channel and merch discounts. For Patreons you get short stories every month. You get the exclusive streams, merch discount, and you get some free books as well. There's the Kofi where you can just throw money at me. There's also some tiny little audio shorts in the shop. And last but not least, there's the merch store on my website. It has ebooks, first edition copies of my books, bookmarks, key rings, t-shirts, a notebook, a pillow with my face on it, and a sticker collection. You want to join but you don't see the button for it? Oh no! That's really poopy. YouTube, why? I don't know. Have a check on my channel. Maybe you'll see it on there. I hope you can find it. If not, I'll find. There's also the Discord. You can join the Discord as well. We have nice chats on there. There's all sorts going on sometimes and things and stuff. Anything else I need to promote? Insta now. I need to add that to the things. I'll look more into it for sure. Yes, please. Thank you. And that, I believe, is it for today. I will be back on Sunday. Money's tight at the moment, enrollment colleges. Don't you worry, Hardy Crusader. Only give me muns if you have the muns to spare. I don't want to take things from you. I have to shill for the people who have the money. Don't you worry on yourself, though. College is important. It's definitely more important than this random VTuber on the internet. So, priorities are right there. I was going back on Sunday. We're going to be reading a book on Sunday. I've kind of been struggling to find another indie book we can read. So, we're going to start some Pride and Prejudice. Because I've never read Pride and Prejudice. And I kind of want to read it. So, we're going to read Pride and Prejudice together. That'll be fun. But until then, I'll see ya on Sunday. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Bryony Rosesmith, live from the Forbidden Library. Good.